Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast. And now here's the guy who's the leader of the newly formed North Carolina Girls Alliance, Rob Cesternino. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our Thursday recap of the premiere of Survivor 48. And I'm chuffed to bits to have a great guest with me to kick off the return of a Thursday Survivor interview. Please welcome back from Survivor 42, the great Zach Wurtenberger. Zach, how are you?
I'm great, Rob. Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be talking about Survivor 50 next year. And until then, I am mildly excited to be talking about Survivor 48.
Okay, good. Well, I am very excited that you're here, and I'm very excited to do this type of interview where that we change things up. In case people hadn't been paying attention, we're also, I guess maybe, we'll see like maybe a return of non-Final Four fire making. We're bringing things back a little bit to the old days where I talked to Steven on Wednesday night after the episode, and here I am on Thursday. We're doing an interview that we can be a little bit more freeform. We don't have to jump right into talking about the vote and every single thing that happened. We can sort of go at our own pace and have an interview that is a little bit more of my speed, where we could talk about things in really any order as they want. And if we get off topic a little bit, that's cool too.
Yeah, I gotta say, as a Rob as a podcast longtime fan, very happy to see this original format return. I feel like I was always like, when I was watching it before I played, always a know it all listener, because I always knew what you and Steven were going to bring. Like Steven, consistently great, consistently like an 8 out of 10.
Known quantity.
Versus the different recap guests you have. Like there's a variableness to that.
Yeah.
And as a viewer, as a fan, it lets me kind of pick and choose a lot more.
Yeah. And Zach, what I found is that, sometimes that format after the episode is good for some players, but for other guests, it's hard to throw them into the fire of like, hey, we just saw this happen. Let's talk about it right now. And, it's a little bit more of like a frenetic pace, and we can't really I don't feel like I get to know people that way. And this is what I love to do.
Yeah. We would have never had a Spencer Bledsoe Survivor 38 Chris Underwood boot interview if you were doing it right after the episode with him. And I say that like genuinely. I love that interview. I think it's fascinating, especially seeing Spencer's
where everything went.
It's a really like interesting, unique episode in the show, and that only comes with the recap format. So this is going to be my Spencer Bledsoe Survivor Edge of Extinction episode.
Okay. Well, this is just part of your Survivor week here on RHAP. We mentioned the know-it-alls. I talked with Stephanie Berger, not Stephanie Wurtenberger. Stephanie Berger, I talked to her this morning. You can check out the exit interview. Then, for the patrons, the Q&A is live at 3 p.m. Eastern on Friday. I'll take your phone calls or your video calls to talk about whatever happened. And each week, we're also going to bring you an old school interview. That's new. We're going to try to track down an old school person. Who knows what they're going to say, Zach?
So what do you define as old school? Like,
I think pre-40. Pre-40.
Okay, so Christian Kubicki is an old schooler.
Yeah, we talked about what are we going to do with Christian. So, and Christian, I feel like feels a little bit more like a Thursday person. We might do like a Freaky Friday where I'll talk to Christian on Thursday, and then let's find like a new school person that really maybe isn't like who knows what they're going to say about the episode.
Like a Bruce.
Who knows? But we'll figure that out when we talk to Christian. And then on Monday, we'll do Club Condo. So that's all right here. Get RHAP.com for all things from me, or WeKnowSurvivor.com for all the Survivor podcasting that we have for you. So, Zach, what's new with you?
I've been doing great, honestly. Just working, love my job. And then I come home. It's been really fun just because it's like my life is so defined by what's on TV right now.
Yeah.
And right now, it's like Mondays, I'm watching Australian Survivor. Tuesdays, I'm watching Australian Survivor.
Sure.
Wednesdays, I'm watching normals. Well, not normal. American Survivor. Thursdays, Severance, Traders. Oh my God. Fridays, Saturdays, Weekend. Don't need anything. Just happy on my
Wow.
own.
Okay, so that's so healthy.
Sundays,
That then you do no TV on the weekends.
no TV. And then Sunday we get White Lotus. So, oh, and I just binged all of Succession. So it's like
Oh wow.
I'm living the dream right now.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we'll get some takes as we get later on in the podcast. But Zach, what were your thoughts on the Survivor 48 premiere?
So, like, first of all, enjoyed it. Thought it was a really fun premiere. I think that like the criticisms I have of it, which are super boring because it's the same criticisms I've had for 41 through 47, which is just it's the sameness of it. But what I will say is I think it's really kind of interesting at this point how the way I almost describe it is like Survivors at this stage where the game of what a Survivor season is in New Era is so well defined and so clear that it feels like each season they're almost just like bug fixing. Like every single season, it's the same thing with a little bit different. We did the stupid Sweat versus Savvy thing for like 6 seasons. Everyone thought it was dumb. They finally in 47 changed it. Still kind of dumb, but it was like better. And then this time they did it again. Still kind of dumb, but
you thought it was
a little
dumb.
bit better. Yeah,
See, I thought it was good.
It was better. Like
Better.
if I could have removed that entire section.
Give me give me the Zach Wurtenberger pitch. How do we improve this segment? Do we just ditch it all together? Should we vote to just give everybody their supplies on day one?
How do we fix it? Right, yeah. What can we vote on? For me, it's the challenge element of it is what I'm not interested in. I think the dream version of it for me is something like they did on Cagayan or Token Teens, right? Like you send the one person to camp early, you give them a decision point of like either work on the shelter or like choose this bundle of food for your tribe or choose a clue to the idol, for example. I love the Token Teens one because they just like flew those 2 people out and then made everyone do like a horrible hike. So they were already miserable. And we got like character building from that. Yeah, so I like having something to separate someone from the tribe originally. I don't need the whole challenge.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Zach, the show opened with the survivors. They answered the call literally from Survivor casting. And we got to see the Zoom calls of so many of the players. And I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about your journey today as we got ready. And you got a Zoom call that you were going to be on Survivor. And then
it was a phone call.
Oh, it was a phone call. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And maybe it's Zoom, and maybe and both times was it a phone call? Because then you get another phone call that said you're not going to be on Survivor.
Yes.
And then you get a phone call that said you are going to be on Survivor. Yeah. Which did you have a bigger reaction when they told you were going to be on Survivor 41 before they canceled it for COVID, or when they told you were going to be on Survivor 42 after COVID?
I can tell you it was first one. It was screaming, running through the rain, like so excited. Like I did it. I fucking my dream. Amazing. Blah, blah, blah. That was number 1. Number 2, like when they told me it was delayed, but they were like, we'll see what happens. It was start of COVID. So you're like, it'll probably be delayed like 2 weeks. Then when they finally told me that I was like off of 41 in January, that was very much like well, why? Like, explain it. Like, what has changed? Why? I'm the same guy. But even then, they told me, like, you're probably good for 42. Like, you're still very much on our board. So I was like, okay. I mean, I'm not happy, but, like, let me know. And then 42, when they finally told me I was on that was just like, oh, thank God. Like, they would have not gotten a good reaction from me. I would not have in the montage.
And that wasn't a Zoom call. That was still on the phone.
Yeah, I was in the middle of a Zoom class, actually. See Jesse calls, and I literally was just like, am I on? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, thank God. All right. I need to get back to class, but I really appreciate this.
Zach, these people were pumped up.
Yeah. Do you think any of those were like second takes?
I don't think so. I think that they seemed like that they seemed pretty genuine.
Here's what I thought was cool with it was, one, like you could hear the casting people's actual voices, and like, there's only so many of them.
It was a huge night for them, right? This is the first time they get to be on the show. The unsung heroes of Survivor.
Oh, I mean, they literally, Penny was named in it.
Yes.
Like, he literally went like, Penny, thank you so much, or whatever. It's kind of cool. I think that it's something that Survivor's been doing a lot more, especially ever since like Carolyn. And I don't mind it. I like them giving us this glimpse behind the scenes, especially compared to like, I'm gonna shit on 41 again. How they did it in 41, where they would like literally show us the cameras and stuff. That was too much for me. And Jeff was talking to the camera. This, I kind of like those like small glimpses we get.
Yeah, the new era has been a journey from, you know, where it started and when it went, and you know, look, everything in the last 5 years has been a journey.
Yeah, I mean, the journeys on the new era.
That's right. That's right. It was right there. That was the metaphor that, yeah, we're all going on the journey with Survivor.
So another thing just in general with this episode and looking at the new era as a whole now, as I feel like we're like wrapping up the new era because 50 is going to happen and then it's going to be the new era. Like there's going to be some new way that they're spinning it all. I remember when me and the 42ers and the 41ers played, we genuinely had no clue what we were doing out there. Like we didn't understand what the game was going to look like. We didn't know we were going to lose all these votes and there was going to be like this hourglass and these phrases of the Boyer advantages. But now, like, the players have such an understanding of what they're going into as a game in a way that I really like. And I feel like it has the advantage part of it, the unknown, has actually like really gone down in Survivor. And these players are actually able to play a game that they know that they're playing right now, which I really like. And 50 is going to be even more of that because we're going to get like, you know, I mean, the players are literally going to see like what is on the table.
Yeah. Now, you brought up what's after Survivor 50 is there another era after the new era?
Yeah. I mean, that's the reason that the new era was like kind of a bad name in the first place, right?
It's what will it be called?
Well, it's like an art. You've got like the modern, you know, the modernist movement, but then the modernist is now old. So it's like, I don't know, the neo-new. I don't like that name, actually.
All right, well, we have time to work. Should the fans get to vote on what the name of the, like, should that be like the last vote that they do, that they ask the fans, what should the name of the era that comes after Survivor 50 be?
Yeah, but I think that they can't do it as like a yes or no vote. I think they need to have like write-ins. Like, I think we need to be able to like submit whatever we want and vote on like, and I think it has to just, as Survivor is, be a true, like, you know, a true vote and whatever it goes with. Like if it's the Jeff sucks era, it's the Jeff sucks era.
No, that's we got to narrow it down. You need a binary choice for these votes. Maybe you can get like a bunch of suggestions to narrow it down to 2. It's this or that.
I don't think so. I think that if they really, really want to like put it in the hands of the fans, they let us call it like, you know, era make era face or whatever.
That's what the new era should be. The newest era should be called. I'd love to get your thoughts on Stephanie and her plight here. And the episode really did paint this scene of, hey, when you come to Survivor, don't sit on your hands. It's go time, baby.
Yeah, I've been really kind of going around in my head about this with Stephanie and Say specifically, because, I mean, that's kind of what they're presenting to us, right? Is that, like, Say is the one who went all out, full force, and then Stephanie is the one who, I guess, took a back seat. Can you hear the car alarms, by the way?
I don't.
Okay, good.
Is your car being broken into?
My car's been broken into several times. But
7 times?
Yeah, it's been basically 7 times now. But they don't find anything anymore.
What are they? They're looking for stuff, or they're trying to steal your car?
No, they're just looking for stuff.
Yeah.
They're stealing my car. Well, you know, speaking of, you know, what kind of car do I drive?
What kind of car do you drive? Yeah.
Yeah. But back to Stephanie.
Movie, and how do you like your steak?
I've got a whole thing on that. But back to Stephanie.
More on that. Well, that's a tease. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, exactly. That's a sneak preview. With Stephanie and Say. So I've been going back and forth with this. And first of all, I relate to Stephanie so much. And I feel like Stephanie is how I played. There are so many exact parallels I can draw with my game and Stephanie's. So essentially every criticism I have.
You say that she's a half Wurtenberger?
What's the half? Is that you then have to have someone fall in
Burger.
love with you in the next episode? Yeah,
I was just going on name alone, but
like half Murphy.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, half Wurtenberger. So, like literally, like even when she's like taking the blame for the puzzle that she showed up to the last minute at, right? Um, Here's the deal. I think that Stephanie's strategy works really well on a tribe that doesn't have a say, which is essentially if you have a player who is going to be so out of the gates, like controlling and just take the tribe by the horns, and really like define the speed of the game, that's really bad for a Stephanie if you're the one person that that person doesn't like. I think we
Yeah.
saw exactly that with Asia and Rome last season. Like,
Yes.
if you are one of these slower players who is trying to form the social bonds, that's great. But the bond you need to work on the most is like the battering ram that you have on your tribe that's going full force from the start.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point in terms of like if you have this tornado on your tribe, somebody who's just like bing, bang, boom, just playing very hard and very fast. This is a good point that you need to probably suck up to that person the most.
Yeah, because either that person's going to end up like you don't need to be like their right hand person,
Mm-hmm.
right? You just
Yeah.
need to make sure that you're not their least favorite person on the
You don't
tribe.
be their least favorite person. And also probably, okay, that person is like, chances are this person is, perpetual motion, is moving around, is probably going to end up with the advantage, is probably going to end up finding the idol. But if you could somehow win them over, as long as it's not like, okay, well, now Zach is really close to the person who is going to go home. And so, or the person with the idol. So we'll vote out Zach just to be, I mean, that's kind of like what almost happened to Genevieve in Survivor 47 in that tribe, where there was like people were looking at, okay, well, where do we put our votes if Rome has the idol?
Yeah, you don't want to be their number one because that's for someone like Say, it's clear that like Say is going to like, follow Say's plan. But you absolutely want to be there like number 2 or 3. You want to be in that kind of like sweet spot. I think that I felt that way with Drea, where Drea was without a doubt the most powerful person on the tribe by the end of
Yeah.
it, at least by the end of my 3 days. And
Say in her preseason said that that was a real role model for her.
oh, really?
Yes.
Well, I mean, great job,
That was
Say.
she was very inspired by Drea.
Was she inspired by
Marianne too,
anyone
she
else?
highlighted.
Oh,
Mary,
oh, great. Oh, okay.
So I think
Yeah.
she loves Survivor 42.
Love Marianne. Oh my God. What a great person. So I think that was the big thing. Here's the thing with that's my, I guess, biggest criticism of Stephanie is if you're going to be the social player, and I think that for the future players who are watching this, who find themselves in the position of like, there's a person they're not really getting along with that they can tell is playing too hard, that they can tell is like a full, like a force in the game. Like, spend extra time on that person. I actually, in my own game, got a little distracted with that because I thought that person was Roxroy on my tribe. And Roxroy was a force of personality, but
Yeah.
absolutely not a force of gameplay in any way.
Well, what was he doing? He was just like working on building the shelter and
Oh, he was
was
like the total leader type, and I was trying to get in with his game, but then I realized too late that like it wasn't really a game to get into.
yeah.
Like he
Because
was just that focused.
right, Roxroy was very focused on the elements out there, but was he working on really building his coalition? Right?
No.
No.
I mean, Roxroy was playing. It's not like he was, but Roxroy was not the strategic mover and shaker of the tribe in the
Yeah.
way that like Say is, for example. Now,
Yeah.
I think with Say, she played a really great game to not be the first one out. Like, I really think that like what Say does essentially, playing that hard that fast, is just going to scare people away from targeting you first. Because going after you, especially if you know that she has an advantage, it's too high a risk for people who have never played Survivor. They've never done a vote out. Like that is the way to play if you want to make sure you're not the first one out. Puts you at a lot of risk of being the second one out.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm worried about for her.
Zach, I really feel like that in the new era, and maybe this isn't that original of a thought. I just feel like we're in such a race to get to 4 people. And say I thought like really illustrated that so well, where that she's there with Stephanie and Mary,
Mhm.
and that they're talking about, okay, like what do we say if the guys are coming? We'll talk about your mom. Okay, great. So it's like, okay, I'd love to know about your mom. And say's like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
I got to get a 4-person alliance.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think for the first 3 days, like, that works. That's the right answer. I think that if you're
Mm-hmm.
halfway through the first day of Survivor and you don't have your 4 yet, like, you're already behind. You just have to have 4. It's not gonna stick. It doesn't have to be the real
Yeah.
4. You have to at least have 4 people that you can point at and be like, "This is my alliance right now."
Yeah. And that's really been the story of the first 3 days, where we got to see and I don't know all the tribe names yet, but I think it's the Siva tribe, the Orange tribe, where we had a 4 that got built around. Okay, Charity is a little sus. We built a 4 around that, and then in the Purple tribe, that the 3 guys are like sort of fighting over. Okay, the Lagi tribe, who's gonna be the 4th, and there's sort of like maybe jockeying for position, where Thomas wants to bring in Bianca and Joe wants to bring in Eva. But that's really the whole name of the game here in the pre-merge is who's gonna win the race to 4.
So I think that with the 4, everything I've kind of been saying, right, is all hinging around this, which is my area of expertise, this first 3 days. Because that first 4 that you form will carry you through that first vote, as everyone is so
Mm-hmm.
antsy. Everyone just doesn't want to be the first one out. That's where that 4 will really matter. I
Yeah.
think all of a sudden you're at the second vote, you're at the third vote. The 4 that you made within 5 minutes of the game starting slowly starts to matter less. I think the Nami tribe is a great example of that, right? Like, the immediately
Season
put together the 4.
46. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Look at me remembering the Nami tribe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Orange tribe, that was Venus, that was Soda,
Hunter and Tevin. Yeah.
Hunter, Tevin, Randon, and Liz.
Liz.
Yeah. They create the 4. It's solid. And then by episode 3, they're already targeting Soda. Like, they've already turned on each other for literally no reason other than like pure antsiness. I think the same thing happened with like the Siga tribe that season. So
Yeah.
just protect yourself
Okay.
at the start, make the 4, and then figure it out.
Well, Zach, okay, for the future players, if I'm in a race to 4, okay, in a 6-person tribe, does it help me to get a duo first? Or by making a duo, am I potentially finding myself like a Stephanie and Mary of like, great, I have my person, but the other 4 is like, okay, well, these 2 are already friends, so now we have to be a 4.
I kind of like it more, honestly, because I think that making the duo and then making the 4, remember, this is all very fast. So you don't actually know these people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have no clue what you're dealing with, right? So I like the idea of making the 4 first, and then from the 4, narrowing it down and being like, okay, but this is the person that I actually like. And then that's the person you can go to and be like, are we sure about this 4? Like, do us 2, the real 2, maybe want to like consider the other 2 that are out there?
Mm-hmm. I feel like, tell me if you think this is crazy, but I kind of like what Say did, where Say went and found Cedric and Justin and said, hey, this is 3. Let's get, who's our 4th? And now you're making a decision with the other 2 people to pick out the 4.
I mean, I like that. I did the same thing. Didn't work.
Who did you do that to?
So it was the way my tribe worked was it was Romeo, Drea, and Roxroy linked up instantly in a very Say way, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the alliance they have, in the sense that like they just decided this is the alliance. Even though we don't actually trust each other, we don't actually like each other. And that played out through the rest of the game when they didn't really work with each other. The second merge hit. So then me, Swathi, and Tori kind of were this counter 3, and we looked at Romeo as the one that we would bring in. But Romeo had already locked in with the others. Romeo wasn't budging. Drea already had an advantage from her mysterious journey visit, right?
Yeah.
So we were a little bit too late on the draw, and then we were the ones that started scrambling.
In the new era, have we ever gotten where the tribe splits 3-3?
Yes, funny enough. We got that in the Vessi tribe, season 43, and it got screwed
Mhm.
up because of Dwight losing his vote. It was NECA,
Yes.
Cody, and Jesse, and then it was
Yes.
Dwight, Justine, and oh
Yeah.
my god, what's her name? Noelle, obviously.
Noel. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, that's a good one. But yet the journeys screw that up. So,
Yeah.
but for the most part, yeah, we're always in a race to 4, and ultimately we have to, I guess sometimes we get probably a few 5-1s,
Mm-hmm. What do you mean we get
but
5?
5 versus 1.
Oh, I guess so. I mean, I can't really think of that happening. Maybe with like John Lovett, where everyone just
Mm-hmm.
decided like Jelinski.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's like the unanimous ones. Um, I think just you play fast at the start. I also think that for someone like Say, she got really lucky with the tribe makeup in the
Yes.
sense that she was like the alpha and she played such like
Yes.
an alpha game, and everyone else on the tribe was playing like a very, I don't mean to go all like Andrew Tate on this. That's not how I mean alpha and beta.
But listen, and nobody's getting it twisted.
Yeah. Like they were playing very kind of beta style games where they were more
Mhm.
sitting back, waiting, watching it happen. I think
Yeah,
that if
I do
Say was
think
on the tribe, yeah.
the rest of the tribe is a kind of a passive tribe, and I was making jokes about this during Australian Survivor, but that's like the Nash equilibrium idea of like in a tribe of passive people, the one person who is like kind of aggressive is going to have a lot of say with this group.
Yeah. And I think that Nash, I mean, from just 3 episodes of Australian Survivor, is clearly set up
Similar,
for
yeah,
a very
yeah,
long. No, I think
yeah.
that what Say has done with this tribe, and I want to make it clear, by the way, that like I know we're critiquing Say a lot, but I do think that Say played very well for the first 3 days. I
Hey,
do
I
also,
advocated give her the fishy.
yeah,
And
I
also,
think that
though, but this is a Survivor podcast, and we can talk about how people are playing the game.
exactly. I'm just Say's Twitter scares me, so I just don't want to
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
watch myself. I saw that Say was like upset that she was the 8th most liked person on the cast, and I was like, ah, okay.
Could be worse, right?
Um,
That's top half.
I have been worse.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
anyways, I think that what Say has essentially done is guaranteed that the next vote will be between Mary or Say. Like, I think that she
Yeah.
essentially has set the board up where she is the person who was targeting Stephanie. She like put her stamp on that with the tribal council. Mary 100% is going to be going to those guys being like, Say should be the next vote. Like that to me seems like a relationship
Yeah.
that why would they work together? Why would they form a 2 against a 3? Like it is now a binary choice for the men of that tribe, which is okay with Say because Say does have the idol, but puts the real power into the 3 of them who were playing like very much slow playing the game.
Yeah. I think it's going to be so interesting to watch Say as the person with the most power in the tribe because of the idol, but maybe not necessarily the leader of the tribe.
Yeah, kind of like a figurehead.
A little bit of a figurehead where you sort of like have to defer to her. She's like this royal, but she's not the prime minister of the tribe. Like when they go to the
Yeah,
challenge, she's not like telling everybody, okay, this is how we're going to do this.
yeah, it very much gives me the possibility of she could be like the mergatory, she could be the merge
Yeah.
boot, like makes it runs the tribe, and then the moment that someone needs to go from green, like she becomes the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is a question that came up. I talked about how, the similarities with Rome, as you were alluding to, and, Sam Fallon posed this question. Yeah, that's a good call. This is like the Lavo tribe coded. How does Say avoid the same fate as Rome? How could Say handle this differently?
From what I've heard, it sounds like there was a lot with Rome unrelated to
Hmm.
gameplay that was like just rubbing people the wrong way and what we saw on the show, right?
Yeah.
I think the easiest thing for Say is
I
to
think we saw a
just
lot of that on the show.
for with Rome.
Yes.
Yes, very much so. So Rome was like rubbing people the wrong way. And that was always going to like lead to people just wanting to get him out. I think that Say hasn't done that as much. I think we saw at Tribal Council, she really was starting to make like digs that were just not needed considering where the vote was going and the tribe was going. And I think it makes her good TV, but I think it's going to make people less interested in working with her, especially at this early stage of the game. If she can make it to a certain point, it becomes a strength. But I think number one, just chill it on the, like, I guess the digs, right? Like what she was saying about Stephanie or like, you know, Mary and all that stuff. That would be the first thing.
Or the people on Twitter.
Yeah, with the people on Twitter. I love it on Twitter. Twitter, genuinely, I want... I mean, my favorite season of the new era was 46, and that was not because of what was on screen. That was because of what was offline or online. So yeah, I think that that's number one. Number two, I would say, like, really take a step back in terms of the gaming right now. Like, what I would do if I was Say, honestly, is be like, hey guys, I'm going to like kind of remove myself from the strategic discussions right now. I'm just going to try to form those bonds now that I have the idol. And I'm just letting you guys know the moment we go back to Tribal Council, I'm playing the idol, and then do it. Like, no point in saving an idol here at like.
Should you wear it?
Yeah.
It's not really, you can't really wear it. It's kind of like a little like
yeah. I don't know. She could like put it.
Give him a real idol. Let them wear idol as a necklace.
That should be something we vote on.
Where can I vote on that? I don't like that the idol is like a keychain.
Yeah.
Get rid of the keychain idols.
I agree with that.
Give me like a big freaking necklace.
That's like how Marianne is like so proud that she like managed to sneak away with her idol after the season, and she has it, and she like literally pulls out like, she's like, look at this. It's a real Survivor idol. It's just like literally like a thing of
2 beads.
String.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Come on.
So yeah, I think that like just next vote, have no say in it. Let whatever happens, and like build the bonds with the tribe.
You say have no say in it. Do you mean she is? Yeah. She doesn't have any agency in the vote?
No agency, yeah. Or like at the very least, at this point, she should make it so that whoever gets voted out at the next vote, because it's not going to be her, because she's going to be playing her idol. Whoever is voted out, she will be okay with.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Okay. How important is it for her to have the idol going into merge time or not have the idol going? Like, does the public idol protect her or make her into a bigger target?
It protects her pre-merge, and then the second she hits that merge, it's like, Say has the idol. We need to flush the idol. We saw exactly that with Sam in 47, where like the place where he really lost control was the moment where they were like, Sam has this public idol. We need to make sure that we flush it out.
Well, the other thing for Say that I wonder, and you said at a certain point it becomes a strength. What is that point where people say like, oh, I would love to sit in the final Tribal Council with Say?
Yeah, it becomes a strength. The moment
like
people
what
start
day? What day of 26?
I think it's about the final 8 or final 7. You know what? It's right after that double boot that they always. Well, they are doing the double boot later and later, but like on my season, it was the final 9, final 10. That right there is the moment.
They've been doing it earlier than that. They do it at like final 12 now.
Yeah, now they're doing it. So not after the double boot, but I think that moment that you're at like 7, 8. I guess now it's after the like silly like 3-way split that they do at final 9. Yeah. That's where I think people can start like actually sniffing the end, start really planning out their end game, and that's where it becomes a strength.
Okay. So she's gonna hang on for a little bit.
I think so. And I think that she has all of the tools necessary to. It just entirely comes down to like, you know, coming back to camp, Mary is going to be gunning for her hard. Like, I can already imagine that.
Yeah.
Say should just remove herself from the conversation, be like, it's not going to be me. So like, you guys kind of figure that out. I'm just going to focus on like becoming your friend and making you guys want to like go further with me. Which, did we see any of the guys saying negative things about her? Like, it felt like it was only the women who.
Kevin a little bit talked about how that, yes, Say has the idol, but boy, I would love to, you know, be able to, like, if we could get rid of her, then, she's a little bit of a wild card, or if we got rid of her, if she played the idol, we can go find it. So not necessarily any sort of like personally things about Say, but like kind of like, well, if she didn't have that idol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's, again, where getting rid of that idol will really just endear yourself to the tribe and make you look like kind of the stand-up player who, like, does what they said they would do. I said I was going to play the idol. I played it, got rid of it. It's done. Can I talk about Kevin real quick, by the way?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. Kevin was actually my first boot pick.
Really? Why? What did you see about Kevin?
In his preseason stuff, I got this like skittish, nervous energy, which really like scares me when I see someone entering the game. I always think of like the Jacob Derwin, like just you never know where that's going to come, what's going to come with that type of energy. And I think it can kind of scare people away.
Where did you see that? In the way he answered questions, in his body language?
Yeah, in his body language, in his preseason interviews, I just got like this a little bit of a nervous energy. But then what I realized actually is such a strength, is he just has like a resting smile face. Like he's like a golden retriever. Yeah. Every single
that's what Mary said.
He dislocates his shoulder and he's just like smiling, and he's like doesn't let it get him down. Like he's I think that's such a strength to be just so friendly, I guess. And I think that I was so wrong. Like he was never going to be the first person targeted from this tribe, even with his fucked up shoulder.
Let's talk a little bit about some of these other tribes. I would love to get your impression of. I want to talk about the Siva tribe. Do you have any strong feelings about
that is the
David's tribe? David,
and
Kyle.
That is, the orange.
Orange, yes.
David,
Kyle.
I was thinking about the David's tribe
from Survivor, David versus Goliath.
Yes, I was like, which tribe are the underdogs?
No. These tribes are not the underdogs. I think we just got done talking about the tribe of underdogs. David, Kyle, Mitch, Charity, Chrissy, and Camilla.
Yes.
And we saw Kyle go off and go do the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I think they call it the Fight for Supplies challenge.
Oh, amazing. Love that branding. I think
Do you think it's too on the nose?
It's a little on the nose. I thought Sweater Savvy was a little on the nose. I thought Knowledge is Power was a little on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
I think with advantages, like a real aside, with like Knowledge is Power, I love when it's like a thing. Like I love when the idol nullifier is like, a thing you can hold and look at and has like a look to it. Versus Knowledge is Power, just a piece of paper, like the vote steal is just like a piece of paper.
What should the Knowledge is Power be? Should it be like a light bulb? Would you like that?
A light bulb?
Because it's like I have no.
Well, it doesn't really fit. Also, the thing is, with all the trash on those islands, you could probably realistically find a light bulb sitting around. Knowledge is Power, maybe like a
lightning bolt. Like it's like a power.
What about like the advantage vacuum? Remember they did that for like 5 seconds?
Oh,
that was Sarah Wade's advantage.
Yes.
That could have been cool. Like a
the inheritance advantage, I think they called that.
Yes, that's what they did.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Kyle. I think that I really liked, first of all, how he handled screwing up so bad. I think that a lot of lesser players would have really like taken that home with them and just come in with like a negative energy to the tribe. And he didn't do that. Like he came in and instantly was able to embed himself in a way that like Asia sort of did, but then eventually I guess didn't. Like Asia lost the challenge, but came in and instantly was able to be part of a 4.
And I'll say that Kyle, he came back and he told everybody that I don't know if there was a difference in terms of how he did this, but we've seen other people come back from this and like, I don't trust it. He's shady. He's not telling us everything.
This is another place where I think it's really great how the structure of the new era has remained consistent, is that we've seen so many different players go and do this now and do this original, like, knowledge. It started as Sweat and Savvy. Then they had like the Sweat and Savvy duos thing that they did for 45. They didn't see 47, obviously. And they've seen time after time after time, there's never been an advantage at this thing.
What was your
So all of a
favorite
sudden,
of all the Sweat and Savvy? Yeah, what was your favorite of all the Sweat and Savvy?
that's like choosing which of my my children.
Yeah.
What was my favorite Sweat and Savvy?
Yeah.
To do, I liked, well, in general, it was the 46. Because the 46 one had Jelinski throwing the hourglass.
Yeah.
It was an impossible challenge, so it was always going to screw them up. I love that. I don't want people passing Sweat and Savvy. And then I thought that Ben and Charlie's little puzzle they had to do was actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like their word search. That was cool.
And they had to dig under the thing.
Yeah, that was like a yeah, I would have solved it. One of my biggest regrets on Survivor, honestly, is that we won the first reward, because I think I would have crushed counting those triangles, and then maybe they would have kept me.
Yeah. Wow.
You know,
how many triangles were there?
Like 51.
51. Should have been 42. It shouldn't it have been? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
is that
so.
too on the nose?
It's a little on the nose.
And
also, like,
I like it. It's like, oh, if you think about it, like, oh, that's what it was. You didn't even have to really count them.
That would have been cool. No, I take it back. God, that triangle puzzle. What are we doing here? How do we get onto the triangle puzzle from Survivor?
Because I asked you your favorite Sweat or Savvy.
Yeah, I guess so. Can we vote on if Sweat or Savvy returns?
Maybe, because I don't really understand with the vote, Zach. Because that, all right. I was there on Saturday when Jeff announced that Survivor 50 in the hands of the fans, and you commented, you're like, oh my God, I love this. The logo is Chef's Kiss. This is awesome. And then everybody is voting now. The polls are open, and I would love to break down with you in this podcast that if we could talk about like what we think people should vote for on these things.
I saw they're kind of fixing it a little bit.
Yeah, well, we could talk about that. But I don't know. Next week, are there going to be new poll questions?
There can't be that
Sam,
many.
Can you text Mike Bloom and find out, are there new questions next week? Like, are we going to be doing like... Yeah, there's already 4 questions. And then does the polls close on Wednesday and then we get new questions to go vote every week? Are we voting on like 40 different things?
Can I tell you how I would fix the Survivor 50 vote?
Okay. Yeah, how?
Not to get all political, but I don't think everyone should be allowed to vote. I think that there should be some level of like requirements, like kind of like aptitude testing to make sure that you are qualified.
Do you know who had this same idea?
Who? Fishback, I assume, because you.
No. So on Saturday, I'm there at the thing, and Jeff got done talking the whole thing, and he has like a receiving line, and I see of all the people like first in line to go meet Jeff Probst, Jordan Kalish.
Okay.
And I'm like, what is Jordan Kalish talking to Jeff about for 10 minutes? And then I come back and I say, Jordan, what did you... He's had this whole animated conversation. Like, Jordan, what did you tell Jay? He's like, I told him that they should be like a test that the casuals have to take so that they can't vote. I'm like, you can't gatekeep the fandom.
No, Rob, I figured out
polling that there's no literacy test at the polling place. That's un-American.
This is far more important than that, Rob. This is Survivor 50, and I figured out what the perfect test is.
Yeah, the thing that they made Hunter do, we have to put all the seasons in order?
No. It goes all the way back to Survivor 41.
Yeah.
The greatest change, gone but not forgotten. The game within a game.
Okay, you have to solve the game within the game.
Jordan
Gales loves the Rebus puzzle also.
You bring back the game within a game. You put it somewhere in the episode. When you get to vote, they ask you, like, what is the answer? What is the password? And then someone will post it on Twitter. So, like, you know, for the people who really care, it'll be out there. But just that, you know, bring back a fan favorite twist that they did. Like, we're going to vote yes on that anyways, if they let us bring the game within a game back. And let there be a little bit of a barrier to this voting. Because I can't have fire making stay.
Yeah. We should like try to workshop some of the things that they should let us vote on, because they already said, okay, they're not going to let us vote on 26 days or 39 days.
Yeah.
Should they bring back the Sprint Fan Favorite Award?
I would like that. Yeah. I think that we could do like Mint Mobile now. Like I feel
Do
like
they need
Sprint's
to bring back Sprint first? Do they still have Sprint?
They still have Sprint. Yeah.
You can still get Sprint.
I think we
let
should
me know
like
if you're listening to the podcast and you have a Sprint phone. Let us know.
We should be able to vote. Like, is this going to be an Applebee's season? Is this going to be Outback?
Should they get Applebee's?
And can you imagine like the opportunities that would have, where all of a sudden Outback is campaigning to us to be the official?
Should the reward be Outback or Applebee's, or is there a third? Chili's is right there.
Doritos and Mountain Dew season 2 callback.
Yeah.
I think that they should. I would love to do tribe names. I would love to just be able to name the tribes whatever we want. I wish that for colors, like they didn't just give us 3 options. I think 2 tribes, 3 tribes. I mean, the fact that they're not letting us vote on that yet is horrific.
Well, I mean, you're looking for some sort of like ranked choice voting. Unfortunately, these are the inherent problems in the 2-party system.
That's true. Yeah. Do you want my genuine answer, by the way? What I think would be the coolest thing to vote on?
What?
I think it would be really fun to have a full, like, long list of different advantages. Like some new, some old. Make it like 10 different ones and have everyone be like, all right, vote on the 3 advantages that are going to be in this game. And they can be like weird stuff. They can get like funky. These don't have to be like the tried and true vote steal. Like that can already be in the game. Put in some like really like surreal, kind of strange, maybe even overpowered advantages. And then the players on season 50 will be going into the game knowing what the possibilities are and actually planning for it. Like, I think that would be really fascinating to see the fear of the knowledge is power, which was one of the options, knowing that could be in play. Or like this, like the inheritance advantage or something. Yeah. It's giving the players info.
I think the problem is that it might be hard to explain all these things to the voters.
That's why we have the aptitude test.
They want a lot of people to vote. I think they want to say, like, we had, 90 million votes were cast.
I guess so. I don't know. I would also love if they let us vote on the Sia Award.
Should the Sia Award come back?
Yes. And I think we should choose where Sia's money goes.
Where Sia's money goes. Well, they famously, they canceled the Sia Award. I mean, I'm saying bring back the Sprint Fan Favorite. Like maybe they could do some sort of like crowdfunding of like there's to be some sort of like people like let the fans vote. It's in the hands of the fans. Let them vote for their favorite player of the season.
Jeff Probst is like, guys, please scan this QR code. It links to a Kickstarter.
Yes.
A GoFundMe we have for the fan favorite of the season.
I mean, I feel like that hasn't happened in a bit, but I feel like it used to happen where people were like, hey, we're sending money to Joe Anglim's P.O. box.
Yeah. Wait, yeah, when was the last time that happened? That we got like a real like
I kind of feel like that Sia maybe did a service to Survivor and ended up stopping that thing where that I feel like that with Big Brother also. I think there was a period where it was like, hey, this person didn't win. We're starting a GoFundMe for them.
It was, if I'm correct, it was Luke Toki in Australian like season 4. I think he got like $500,000 from Australian fans. Pretty
nice.
Like I think they literally like matched the prize for him.
Okay. So we did get an answer from Mike Bloom. Okay. We have Sam reached out to, of course, the great Mike Bloom, respected journalist, not fishing for likes. His response was, quote, not a clue in terms of will there be weekly votes. He said, I've heard some interviews where Jeff said it was weekly. I thought I heard another where he said monthly. So we don't know for how long this vote will be up. It sounds like weekly, if I had to guess. That's a lot of things to vote on. I mean, are we voting on 50 things for season 50?
Yeah, it's going to get to the point of like, what shirt will Jeff wear? Right.
Yeah. Also,
Whoa.
Sam.
All right, our third reward challenge of the season. Should we be doing this obstacle course or that obstacle course?
Yeah. Sam Moore also thinks that, he said, okay, he told me not to say the thing he posted in the chat, which is, you know what the best way to get me to not say the thing posted in the private chat?
Is to not say it in the chat.
I think so.
Can
Yeah.
we instead of editing that out, just put a bleep over there so people
No,
can really
that'd be too long. But anyway, Sam thought that there was a change.org petition for one contestant in the new era, but I won't say who it is until he fact checks it.
Oh, that's what he's saying. Don't say it. Okay, all right.
Yes. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Well, you know, those Swifties are
they
organize.
Rapid. Okay. All right. So, Zach, what's your impression of David? Now, some people have said that David, you know, it's like a Jonathan from your season.
I don't see that. I don't see that at all, honestly. Jonathan, well, first of all, I see it. Let me change that. Like, I very much see what you guys are seeing. I think personality-wise, David and Jonathan are not alike in the sense that David feels like much more of a showman.
Yeah.
Jonathan was someone who has watched Survivor a lot. Like, Jonathan was a legit fan of Survivor who came to like play the game, he's not like an entertainer. Obviously, he does his monkey dance or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Remember that?
I forgot about the monkey dance. Yeah.
Yeah, like he can have that like goofy side to him, but he's not a goofy guy. David to me comes off like a very goofy guy. He reminds me the most of not Jonathan, but like a John Hennigan.
Yeah, John Hennigan.
Like mayor of Slamtown, almost mixed with like a Dan Rengering. In terms of like a little bit of the
two Goliaths in one?
Two brochachos. I mean, don't you think he's like the perfect embodiment of it?
See, I was going to ask you if you felt like that David is like feeling like a little bit more like a Big Brother person. Like, is he giving like a little bit more like Mr. Spectacular?
He feels very out of place in the new era in a good way, in a way that I really enjoy seeing what comes with him. Big Brother, again, like I really maybe would have a tough time seeing him on like modern Big Brother. I don't know if he fits into like the Tannenbaum era casting. I mean, he literally is Tannenbaum era casting. But I could absolutely see him on, you're right, like season 11 of Big Brother. At the end of the day, I think
Jesse,
I think he's someone who's there to win challenges, to be entertaining, to like kind of soak up the moment. And I don't think he's there to like play in the way that I think Jonathan like was. So I don't necessarily see that comparison. I find it really funny that he thinks that we are like surprised that he loves rom-coms.
Yeah. Have you seen Notting Hill? Because I have not.
No, I have no clue what that movie is.
You don't even know what that is. We were born when Notting Hill came out.
When was Notting Hill?
I have no idea.
Let's Google it.
Let me see. But I bet you've seen Holes.
I have seen Holes. It was born in 1999. I was not born yet. It was released in 1999. He also did that thing that I always find annoying, which is when someone hasn't seen something and they're like, "What? Stop. No. That's impossible. There's no way." And it's like, there's no way that someone has not seen Notting Hill. It feels very possible. It was incredibly doable.
It was very formative for David. Do you think that it's instructive in terms of his game?
I don't know what this movie is about, so I can't.
Well, look, first of all, I think that is this movie on Paramount Plus? Like, is this movie going to be in the same way that Andy had his "she's all that" moment last season? Like, is this movie going to give us some insight into, like, is this like Chekhov's Notting Hill, where there's going to be some big payoff to David's game based on Notting Hill?
That's what I thought with the Andy Griffith alliance, and I wasted all my time with that, and then nothing happened. So I'm not doing that with Notting Hill.
Yeah, but you never know. Like, that Survivor's very meta.
I guess so. I don't think that this is going to be one of those things that like we point to at the end of the season and we're like, wow, like bravo.
It was right there. It was right there the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Holes. I feel like Holes is a little bit more Survivor.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that either.
You haven't seen Holes?
Yes, I haven't seen it.
How have you not seen? You seriously haven't seen Holes?
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
I cannot believe it. Wow.
Believe it.
How do you cook your steaks?
Medium rare.
Okay. Basic
Mhm.
answer.
Basic answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would be a less basic answer? Do I want to give the sociopath answer?
Which is well done was the sociopath
I
answer.
think that it wasn't even well done. I feel like it was like medium well.
Yeah. See, that's like I feel like that's fine. I mean, I get it, medium rare too. Look.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me the sociopath answer is like bleeding. Like
Yeah.
it's so raw, I want it to still moo.
Mm-hmm.
Like that to me is a red flag. No pun intended.
Literally. Yeah.
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 I don't think well done is a bad answer. I just think it's you have like bad taste, which is fine.
Is that one of the questions on the Survivor psych test? Is like, okay, on a scale of rare to well done, how do you take your steak?
No, the Survivor psych test is like they sprinkle in like the real serious questions with a bunch of like fluff where they'll be like, I'd love to be a gardener. I love to read the newspaper. I've thought about murdering my whole family. And then it's like, oh well. Okay, you thought you were gonna sneak that one in there.
Yeah.
No.
Because they want you to get your defenses down a little bit, and then maybe
that's exactly what it is.
they're gonna wear you down, and then you answer truthfully.
What did you think of David's 3 questions? Did you like them or?
What kind of car do you drive? Well, it was sort of sneaky in terms of like, okay, well now I think I could tell a lot about a person by what kind of car they drive. I mean, to go back to Carl not Godfather Carl from the White Lotus, but Carl Balancione from Survivor Africa,
Yes.
who like got tripped up on this way back when they were like, he's like, I got a Lambo.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that if someone on my tribe told me they drove a Tesla Cybertruck, that would actually be like, that would actually like fundamentally change my view of them, and I would not try to work with them anymore.
Yeah, I don't think we got to hear about too many cars. I think maybe we heard about David's car.
I think almost every car is like not a car person. I'd be like, okay, movie is interesting. Movie's a good conversation starter. Steak, again, I don't care about, but I kind of like that.
I don't like when they talk about food.
Yeah, you like it?
I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean we only have 2 hours of screen time, guys. Let's make sure to like really put the important stuff. When you said that I have 3 questions that I ask people, I instantly thought of Walking Dead, by the way, and like Rick Grimes.
Yeah, I don't remember what Rick's questions were. Yeah.
It was, how many walkers have you killed?
How many people have you killed? Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen Notting Hill?
How many? Yeah.
All right. So let me ask you, about Charity, because Charity was somebody who was like a trendy preseason pick. People felt very good about Charity. She's the total package. She's got a great story. She's a flight attendant. She is somebody with a good athletic background. She knows the show. And then she comes here and is not off to a great start, Charity.
I guess she's not. I mean, what did she? I'll be 100% honest. I did not get good like dynamics from this Orange tribe. Not that I didn't like them. I just did not get a good read on what was actually happening versus what was like just an episode 1 story. I felt like for me, really, all I got from that Orange tribe was like David being a showman and like kind of bouncing around the tribe. So like, can you tell me who was specifically saying that they were not getting good vibes from Charity? Like,
okay, so Camilla, like I'll give you the TikTok on the not the app, but I'll give you the readout on everything. Okay. So we got where they talked about the movie and everything, and Charity likes her steak medium well. That Kyle ends up saying like, okay, that's the red flag on Charity, and him and Camilla hit it off. But when Camilla talks to Charity says that maybe Kyle has an advantage. And so Camilla tells Kyle what Charity said about him. And he's like, I don't have an advantage. And so him and Camilla have hit it off. And then they start asking other people, hey, did Charity say anything to you about Kyle? And they ask Chrissy, and Chrissy's like, she doesn't tell me anything. And then suddenly David's there too. And all of a sudden we have 4.
I think that this is kind of the case of someone makes the first misstep, and that is playing the game too early, which is funny because it actually worked so great for Say. Whereas I guess Charity did a half Say where she was doing a little bit of game talk, but not enough to actually like fully gain someone's trust and like form an alliance with them. So Charity's now the one who just made the first mistake. She'll be on the block until someone either makes a larger mistake or someone gets antsy and wants to make a bigger move. Like, because it's entirely possible we get like an Island of the Idols, like Missy scenario, right? Where someone just decides, you know what? Let's do Chelsea. Like, let's just get a big person out for literally like small reasons. But it seems like Charity just like is the first one, is the first name that got voted out. And I think that once they're actually facing danger, we're going to see 100 other names come out. And I can't imagine that it's because of this one faux pas that she'll actually be the boot.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. We saw more people talking about Charity. We didn't see a lot from Charity. So does that mean anything to you?
It means that this tribe was a little boring this episode. And was definitely the can I not say boring? Oh God. Oh my God. I just remember Tangela. Yeah, no, I think that this was the most boring tribe of the episode, and they had to show something of them. I mean, look, in season 41, right? The Luvu tribe, easily the most boring tribe. They had the winner. On my season, I mean, my tribe was probably the most boring, but the 42 Taku tribe was like, there was the least game going on because they all just kind of liked each other. Like they were all kind of in unison. And like the scenes we got of them were not, they just didn't have that much to show. So maybe for this tribe, it's that case. The best example actually is 44, the Orange tribe, where after that first episode, that huge Maddie Brandon blow up that ended with Maddie going, didn't really have that much to show in terms of the dynamics of this tribe because the dynamics didn't really end up being that important. So if there's any tribe that's going to end up being like that, then I think it'll be this one.
Do you think that the tribe that Say is on ends up being sort of just like the disaster tribe and goes to every tribal council in the pre-merge until we swap?
I don't think so, honestly. I think that they definitely have another one in the chamber. Like they're going to go to another tribal, but I do think this is going to be a season. I mean, to me, the tribes look relatively even. It's not like any tribe was luluing it up, right? And just like complete dead last in a challenge. So I think that we'll end up
I don't know.
like
I think that Vula might be in that case. I feel like that the other tribes, not only do they have some stronger guys, that the strongest guy on Vula is Kevin. From what Stephanie was telling me in the exit interview, his shoulder is pretty bad. Like he's having some problems, and he was working on the puzzle with Stephanie, and she was saying like it was like really like it was like that he was like with one arm trying to work on the puzzle. And then not to mention that the women on the other tribes are stronger than the women that are on the Vula tribe, and they don't get to sit out, Say or Mary in the challenge. I think Mary's actually a very good swimmer. She did not like how people were swimming on Survivor Heroes versus Villains. She talked about that in the preseason. So then the other tribes, they get to sit out their weakest person. So I actually do think that this could snowball.
I mean, it could. I guess my read on the tribes, my read on what I watched from this episode is that we're going to see everyone go to tribal council. I felt like they gave us enough juice from each one that we're going to get to see each play out. I think the real like thing to look for is like if there's a tribe that's like a total complete disaster behind the scenes, but super cohesive in the challenges, like that's the tribe that won't go to a tribal council because they're building up the blow up. I'm talking about Nami right here. That's a tribe that they're going to like build up the blow up for the merge. Or another great example of that is Baka after episode 1. I'm naming so many new era
tribes. That's the Owens tribe on season 43, right?
Yes, yeah. They did that first loss and
they bounced back.
Got rid of Mariah, and then it was like a powder keg from then on with like Gabler and Ellie and all that. But then they never went back. So I think that there's enough good vibes on the other tribes that on all like the two tribes didn't go, that we need to see crack, and I think we're gonna see that in the pre-merge.
Okay, the other tribe we haven't talked too much about, the purple tribe, the Lagi tribe, of course. That's the tribe with Shauhin and Joe and Thomas, and Eva, and Star, and Bianca. Do you have any thoughts on this tribe?
You're so good at this. Oh my God.
I mean,
You got all 6 without even blinking.
Yeah, I didn't have to search for it too much. Not bad for week 1, but we have been talking about these people for like 4 weeks now.
That's true. That's very fair.
It's week 1 for you guys. You know, this is like week 5 for me.
I think I'm very interested in this tribe. They're clearly the most, if we're believing in like complex tribes and whatever, and like whichever tribe is the most complex ends up being the one that like has the hero in it.
Explain this to me. I've never heard this before.
It's getting a little into Edgic, if that's okay. But complex tribe theory is basically the idea that whichever tribe you get to know the best and they care the most about the dynamics of that tribe, that's the tribe that will produce the winner. I think last season was the best example by far of it, where, or not the best ever, but maybe new era best example. When you looked at the care and consideration that they put into the dynamics of whatever the yellow tribe's name was, don't have that one for some reason. When you look at the relationship between Andy and Rachel and Sam and that kind of like triumvirate that they had, you knew exactly how Rachel felt about Andy throughout the whole game, how Andy felt about Sam, how Sam felt about Andy, how Sam felt about Rachel, all around, right? Compare that to something like the Blue Tribe, to Tuku, you know? Did we really know how, like, at any given moment, Caroline felt about Kyle, or how, like, Kyle felt about Gabe, or Gabe felt about, TK? It was a lot more.
We know how Sue felt about Kyle.
We knew how Sue, yeah. So they, like, not to say that, like, these tribes are completely under-edited or anything.
Yeah.
It's just which tribe do the editors care the most about? Okay?
Yeah.
So episode 1, just, like, way too early to predict this. We got so much of the dynamics of this purple tribe. We got the 3 boys. We got Thomas, Bianca locked in. We got Eva and Joe locked in. Right? We got Star a little bit on the outs. We got like one-on-ones with Thomas and Sheen. There was just a lot of like moving pieces that made me feel like everyone on this tribe is like very important in terms of the game itself.
Is there one person in particular to you that was the standout in this complex tribe?
Honestly, a lot of this, there's a lot I want to talk about with this tribe. So I'll start with Shauhin. I find Shauhin very fascinating. I think that he is, there's a sharkiness to him that I feel like Dr. Mike, where I'm like, there's a ferocity that transcends the game.
Yeah, that's what Kyle liked. He loves that quote.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Did you know that?
No, I had no clue.
Oh my God, what a coincidence, because that Mike Bloom asked Kyle, he said, Kyle, tell me your favorite moment in Survivor history. He's like, there's a moment in Survivor 35 when Dr. Mike talks about Ben and says he has a ferocity for this game that has never been seen before. And Mike is like, wow, that is a very deep cut pull.
That is incredibly deep cut, and it makes me feel like so bonded to Kyle.
That's amazing.
That moment stood out to him too. There's a ferocity, I'll say, a sharkiness with Shauhin. The only new era player that I can really point to is actually Ricard, where you like just look at this, guy and you're like, oh, he's going to be like a main character on this season. Like he's just got like that.
He has main character energy for you.
Yes, exactly. And I'm very interested in him because he's a debate coach.
Yeah.
And I will say that, like, as someone who did debate like all of high school, who knows debate coaching very well.
Okay. Because I feel like that your brother is more well known for being a debater.
Really?
I feel like that was. I feel like I didn't know that about you, and I feel like I know that was part of his background. I thought.
Well, I lasted 1 episode, Rob. So maybe.
Yeah, but I just feel like
around a little bit
I don't know. I feel like that. I don't know if you as like that. I didn't know that was in your bio.
No, it was a big part of my casting story. It just didn't come up on the show because, I mean, first of all, I wasn't going to tell people.
It's possible I could be conflating the
No, you're thinking of him. He was much better than me, to be fair. He was winning like every single competition. anyways, with debate, especially the coaches, there is like it is really a game within itself, the debate
Yes.
coaches. And there is like a level of like toxicity and like social politicking that I actually think translates really well to Survivor in a way that's like
Hmm.
kind of ugly but kind of fun.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm interested in seeing Shauhin bring that in. Basically, like you hear all these rumors when you're a debate student about like the coaches interfering and like, oh, this judge in this round is best friends with this coach. So like we think they're gonna rank them higher and stuff. And like, is that true? Is it not? Probably a little bit true.
Debatable.
Debatable, exactly. One thing we love to do in debate is complain. And if
Hmm.
Shauhin is like, if that's his whole life, is this competition, is this like kind of maneuvering that comes with debate, I actually think that's going to be
Yeah.
really fascinating to watch.
Well, Zach, first off, who would win in a debate, you or Corey?
Who would win in a debate? I would win, but he would think that he won.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we have to have then a vote for that. But I feel like that we should, when we get to talk about the Survivor 50 stuff, we should debate all of the things for
Ooh.
Survivor 50 in the
Should we
hands
do
of the
it? Like,
fans.
should we do it like true debate rules where like right before we flip a coin and that decides who's debating what?
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that after. Let's talk through this tribe and then we'll do that.
Okay. All right. So that's my thoughts on Shauhin. Very interested to see how he like how his game progresses. I think that Joe and Eva is a like Jeff said this is a season of duos. Like this is 100% like the duo to watch at this point from what we've seen episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about their scene? Like where
Yeah, you know what? I thought it was beautiful, like very, very touching. Like, I watched the show with the family. Everybody liked that. My mom texted me about it. So everybody is, really loving it. But to me, I did not get yet that they are going to be a strategic duo. That I feel like that they have a great bond, but I'm not sure necessarily. Like, I guess I think it still remains to be seen if they're going to be like a powerhouse in the game.
I got the vibe that they are 100% absolutely going to be a powerhouse, that they are locked in, like that this is going to be like, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
the duo of this tribe. I found it very interesting. And I think that when Eva was bringing this to Joe, she was doing it outside of the game, like bringing this, like, hey, I want to let you
Sure.
know this is something that I have. This is something that I'm going to be dealing with throughout this game. And I need someone there with me to just be aware of that. So I don't think there was gameplay involved with that. The thing is, you can't actually separate, like, there is no such thing as outside of the game while you're inside of the game of Survivor. And I
Mm-hmm.
think what basically just happened there with Eva and Joe is in that moment, that like disclosure has made them like the closest bond. So there's a good game element to it, right? Where they are now like so bonded. And I think that they really like I feel like they feel really good about each other within this game. I
Mm-hmm.
think the risk that comes up now is that they've kind of like, I feel at least, and I think Eva should know this too, because she doesn't know Joe, right?
Yeah.
And Joe doesn't know Eva. They don't know how each other are going to react. It's kind of like a Charlie and Maria situation where Charlie thinks that Maria is going to be this great ride or die, and she kind of proves not to be because she doesn't back him up at all at the end. So they're making this leap of faith with each other. And in doing that, they're potentially really limiting their options in the end game. Because for Joe to kind of take on this like protector role for Eva, someone that day one, he doesn't know. Like he doesn't know how she would react to a blindside that she could perceive as being a bond built on something outside of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like they basically have kind of limited and like locked in with each other, and are at risk if they end up wanting to turn on each other of really like playing with fire with this like outside of the game talk.
Yeah, and I don't think they will turn on each other. I just feel like that my issue with this as like a long-term, like viable, that these two are going to run the game together, is that I just feel like that they have very like, as opposed to complementary skill sets, I think they have like very parallel skill sets in terms of like, I feel like that both of them are people who have a great work ethic, who are strong, challenge competitors with a big heart. Like I feel like that they're both very similar in that, and I feel like that the best Survivor alliances look at like a Steven and JT of like two people that have different superpowers who are coming together, and like 1 + 1 = 3 with the two of them coming together. Like it's great that they're a duo, but I feel like that they sort of are bringing similar skills to the alliance.
Maybe, but also where I would push back on that is I think that just purely in demographics alone, they have widely different life experiences, and they'll be able to relate to very different groups of people. Eva's the youngest person on the cast. Joe, I'd assume, is like the second oldest, if I had to guess. Like I think right there that is a huge difference when it comes to who are you naturally going to socially click with, right?
Yeah.
We saw Joe connecting with the two dudes. We didn't see Eva connecting with Bianca or Star, but I'd imagine that like there will be at least talks of like a girl thing at some point on there. So I think that they do have enough distinguishing them where it's not just like Nick and Austin in Panama working together.
Yeah. And it is giving like an old school pair of like a Kentucky Joe and Elizabeth Filarski, or like a Pascal and Nalia, of like two people that they have like this bond where they're going to be very, very close throughout the game, and like tough to split up.
Yeah, I see the upside of them as like a Tom and Ian. Funny enough, especially with the firefighter element of it. Like I think that like they could really, if they just lock in and are able to like kind of play the game together, I can see that. And then I think the downside is Charlie and Maria. Like I could see them either way. I think they're doing very well. I think that like they've been set up as like these like two clear heroes of the season.
Yeah, I don't see a scenario where one of them makes it to the finals and the other one doesn't vote for them.
Okay. All right. After episode 1.
After episode 1, I would bet, I don't want to say my life, but something of value.
Okay. All right. A Billy Joel vinyl.
Okay, fine.
Thanks.
You got it. You want me to send it to you, or you already have them?
Send me which ones you have. You actually sent me them previously. I'll look through it. I'll pick mine.
Okay. All right. What about Thomas?
Love Thomas. I think he's so much fun. I think he was a clear like comedy highlight. If we're doing like who do I want to be 17th place and join the club? Thomas is like
that's a question that we got. Who do you want to be in the 17th place club?
Thomas is like far. I mean, I don't want him to go out next. But he would be like a perfect fit. Oh my God. Like he is like exactly the vibes.
Did you add TK yet?
Yeah, we did add
TK's in. Yeah.
TK's in. We added TK originally and he didn't say a single thing. But to be fair, we didn't really tell him what was going on. We just added his number.
And now he's in?
Yeah. And then we were just like, welcome. And then he didn't respond because he probably thought it was like spammers. And then when I met TK, I literally said, hey, you didn't respond to us. And he was like, I have no clue what you're talking about. And I showed him the group chat and he was like, oh, you That's never said this was a 17th place club.
Yeah. You have to name it.
Well, we changed the name because we didn't want TK to know what was going on.
Oh, okay. All right.
We're pranksters,
But now he's an active participant.
Yeah. He posted, let me see, the group chat was popping off.
Let
me see what we said. So, yeah, here it is. So yesterday, Jessica Chong and Sarah Wilson posted a picture of them together.
Yeah, okay.
I guess they were at a watch party together. I said, 1 week away from the big one. Sarah Wilson said, next week our baby is born. And then it was like a pregnant emoji. I said, I hope it's a boy.
Yes. Okay. Who do you hope it will be?
Thomas. I hope it's Thomas.
Thomas.
If it can't be Thomas, my second picks would be Bianca or Mary. I think Mary would also fit.
They'll add a lot to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anybody you're hoping that it's not?
Maybe. I don't know. I think we can work with anyone.
Yeah.
I think that like there are I don't want someone who will just like Chrissy. Chrissy's not participating.
She's gonna hate
I
it.
don't think she would freaking hate it.
Yeah.
Like, that would be an instant like
She might
Chrissy is a
block you
loser.
guys.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
hates the, I mean, hopefully none of you all 3D printed the puzzles. She hates that.
I read that she hated that, and I was thinking
Mm-hmm.
like, I was thinking like, oh my God, like, got this. Never mind.
Yeah. We could keep this. I mean, what did you say? You didn't say anything.
I didn't say it.
All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You cut it. You cut it before we even had the chance to.
I cut myself. I think the California girls, as in alliance, by the way, this is an alliance that I think will not do well in the game at all.
Oh, okay. It's a hot take.
I have very little faith in the California girls.
Yes. Okay. And people universally, even Stephen Fishback said on the know-it-alls, California girls, this is one of my favorite alliances of all time.
Oh, I love them. I think they're great. Like, I think that they're a really fun group. I think that what the issue is, if we're talking like this whole alpha beta thing again, looking at these three players, these are three like alpha players who are all going to want kind of their way to go. We've already got the clear conflict, which is going to be who's the fourth person. Some of them want Eva. Thomas wants Bianca. Boom. That's going to be a fight, especially when it comes time to vote. And they're like, oh, well, Star is like a beast in challenges. Like, maybe we just want to get Bianca out. And then Thomas is like, I don't want Bianca out. He flips. Something's going to happen, Yeah.
Well, I do love, and I respect it so much that the men's alliance named itself the California Girls. And just the naming of it has completely flipped the perception around. People are like, oh my God, I am loving this. This is great. All you had to do was have a men's alliance and call it the Girls Alliance. That's it.
If it's the final three, is the California Girls, is this the most successful all-female alliance?
Well, I think so. Will people be mad if they dominate the game? And it's like, well, we called it the Girls Alliance. I mean, this is like, my mind is blown. Possibilities are endless.
Maybe the reason why I think it's not going to work is because they called it a Girls Alliance.
Maybe. You're so instinctual, like, oh, it's not going to work.
Yeah, never. I mean, I've been watching Australian Survivor. It doesn't.
This is like a Nathan Fielder idea of like, okay, what if there's a Girls Alliance that's all men?
Let men.
Twitter is gonna love it.
I think it's brilliant.
Rocksroy should have thought of this.
Oh my God!
What a dummy!
If I pitched that to Rocksroy, he'd be like, "But I'm not from California."
Like, oh. Hey, Mike, Romeo. Get in here. Homer.
Yeah.
Hi. Where the California Girls? Think about it. Think about it.
And after such a great year that Katy Perry has had.
Yeah. Hi would have loved it.
Who?
Hi.
I wonder if that kind of disqualifies you from the Sia award, because I would rather do like a Sia themed advantage or not advantage, alliance name. I don't know what that would be.
I don't know. Does she have like a song with girls in it?
I mean, Sia's a girl and she makes music.
Yeah.
Sia songs.
Okay.
No, she doesn't. Cheap Thrills. The Cheap Thrills lines.
Cheap Thrills.
You see Katy Perry's going to the moon?
I did not see this. Like, is this like she has a meme coin that you're investing in? Is that what you're saying?
Katy Perry. No, search up Katy Perry moon or Katy Perry space. Yeah. Katy Perry will launch to space with historic all-female crew on Blue
Is
Origin
it actually all men, though?
That's the thing. Is it the California Girls?
Yeah. Okay.
She's going to the moon.
She's going. Okay. Katy Perry is going to the moon.
It's a woman's moon.
Woman's moon.
Okay. To be living in it.
So, Zach, I want to debate the different things. We have questions for you also. But I got a message from Sam, and he said, "Hey, should I get Corey Wurtenberger in here to debate Zach?" I'm like, I don't know. Let me ask you. What do you want to? Would you rather debate your brother, and I'll judge the debate?
Do you have Corey on deck right now?
I don't have him backstage. That I told I didn't
That'd
want
be
to.
fun.
You want
Yeah,
to
we
see if
can
he's
for it.
around? Okay, Sam. I'll give Sam the green light. Or should we
Jumping
let
in
the
on
fans vote if we should have Corey come on to debate you about the debate?
Yes, yeah, I want to see how that. They're gonna vote yes on that. You
Okay.
don't have to let the fans vote on
Well,
that one.
we'll word it in a way though,
Yeah.
should Corey
Zach is doing
Wurtenberger come
so
on?
great. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that if you like that kind of thing, but I don't know if it would work. I was kind of digging the vibe between Rob and Zach, or no,
Yeah.
he'll ruin the podcast if he comes on.
I will say that, I think that that's the way to do it. I think this was Eliza's best tweet in years.
Yes.
With the pointing out the how they worded the fire making question.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very interesting. Very, very much a push pull.
Okay. Well, let's just see if we can go through that in a minute. Let's let Sam see if Corey's around to do the debate. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. But let me bring in some questions for you.
That might be a faster.
You think you can get a hold of him faster than Sam?
I believe so.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Okay. Now, your car's not getting broken into again, right?
I hope not.
Okay. All right. How about let's see. Okay. Question for you. Okay. Jack says, do you think that the men's alliances, especially on purple, and again, it's a girls' alliance, okay, might have some cracks that cause them to crumble and target each other? I have speculated that, okay, well, Star seems like an easy boot right now, but is there going to be a battle, a tug of war, if somebody has to lose their person, whether it's Thomas losing Bianca or Joe losing Eva?
Thomas losing Bianca or Joe losing Eva. Here, wait, Sam, don't have him just hop on in 5 minutes. Like whenever we want to do the segment.
We'll make it work.
Okay?
We'll make it work.
Okay.
What,
I just don't want Corey to have to like be sitting there, like.
You do want him to be sitting there? You don't want him to be sitting there?
Oh, actually, I kind of do want him to be sitting there.
Yeah, we'll bring him in when he comes in. We'll bring him in.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Yes, I noticed that I already said that I think that the California girls, I don't think this is a lasting alliance. I just think it's three very strong personalities who are going to want their way through.
It's you think it's like a Gabler, Sammy, Owen situation?
No, I don't think it's like them.
Because I don't really know if Owen was really with them.
Well, but they were like the three longest lasting from that tribe, actually. It's actually one of the only tribes where all of the men outlasted all all of the women.
Do you think that Gabler would have started some sort of like Midwest Girls Alliance with that maybe it would have been more popular?
No. I think that I think that Gabler was always doomed, sadly. Here's the thing, though. I will say that noticing how it feels like the men on every single tribe are in a stronger position than the women on every single tribe, I think is yet another example of the Survivor players like responding to the season that just preceded them.
Yeah.
I think they just watched Dee win. They just watched Kenzie win. Like just like how my season 41 were very much people like were watching and being like, oh, we just had 6 male winners in a row. There was a far more concerted effort from the women on that season to like, be on the on the defense from that. Then we had season 43 and 44, where the women went out back to back to back to back to back in the pre-merge. 45 and 46, they're going into the game with that very much on their mind. And
the
now
invoice is due for the ladies.
It flips yet again, and all of a sudden, going into this game, the men are incentivized to defend each other a little bit more. Especially having just watched two final twos or final threes where it was 2 men, 1 woman, and the woman winning out.
And they don't even know that Rachel won.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Genevieve did so good.
If they had so basically I'll say this, for the women who are going on season 49, you really want to root for a male winner here.
Yeah. What should they name their alliance? Like anything guys to then they're like, okay, well, We'll keep them. They're cool. They're
Come on
called
in,
like
guys.
they're called the Come On In guys.
Yeah, I would
That's
like
a
that
great
name.
name for the Alliance.
Season 50.
If they bring it back,
Uh-huh.
it'd be beloved.
That's one of the votes. That would mobilize people. You'd see like
You think we should vote on that?
oh
We
yeah,
should
could get,
bring the guys back.
No, I don't think we should vote on that. I just think that we would really get a lot of action.
I mean, there could
Look,
be like an executive order signed that says that they have to bring it back.
I was gonna say I could see Trump. You know.
Yeah, you never know. You don't know.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. I've got a question from Eric Stein, and it's love Eric Stein, one of my great friends, great 15 years of history on Rob is a podcast. But he rarely writes in a Survivor question. So either he must be very fond of you, or he must be very excited for Survivor 48.
I think it's me because
Maybe it's both.
Maybe it's both. I don't know what it would be about 48 that he'd be like, man, 45, 46, and 47 really didn't do it. But
Okay.
2 hours in this season.
Yeah. Eric Stein. And that Sam put in the show notes. BB Eric Stein. Yes. No, I know of him. Okay. With so many genuinely nice people in the cast, will niceness actually be rewarded this season? Does the sheer volume of nice people change the entire group's voting criteria? Or will they be targeted for being such overt jury threats? Now, was that a big takeaway that you had? That these people are super nice?
I didn't get that takeaway that these are all super nice people. They seem nice, not to say they're not nice. I think that we didn't see any big fights here in episode 1, other than maybe like Say and Stephanie at Tribal Council were kind of going at each other back and forth. Yeah, I think that if Say is the one person who has a little bit of an edge to her this season, surrounded by people who all end up maintaining this like niceness, we're probably going to see a lot of Say. Would be my guess, and that Say will continue. Yeah,
I think she had like 22 confessionals. I think
that's crazy. That's absolutely insane.
Insane. I think there's like probably like 71 new era players that don't have 22 confessionals.
I think if you combined the first like 5 boots of my season, we would not hit 21 confessionals.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Jenny, that would be
amazing. She's off to a historic pace.
Coffee, Mariah, Jenny. Yeah, no way. No way we're hitting 25.
All right. Okay. All right. So, look, we have somebody here at the podcast door. Look who it is.
Whoa.
Corey Wurtenberger is here.
Wow. This is crazy. What am I doing here?
Corey.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, what we wanted to do is we had this idea of that I was going to debate Zach about the things that people can vote on for Survivor 50. But then we talked about how the Wurtenberger brothers are both incredible debaters. And we said, well, what if there was a Wurtenberger debate over the things people can vote on for Survivor 50?
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you up for that, Corey?
Pressure. I'm beyond up for it. I mean, there's nothing that Survivor players like more than Big Brother players commenting on their game.
Well, there's 2 Survivor players here.
I suppose.
Yeah. Right, well, and Zach said he'd flip a coin, so you're not even necessarily arguing what you believe.
Yeah, I just voted.
Well, you don't have to. Yeah, and that way, then the stands won't get mad at you for like you're presenting the opinion that they don't believe in. You might actually believe in it. You might be debating something that you actually feel very strongly against.
Yeah, Rob, they'll get mad.
Well, when they clip it out of context, for sure, for sure. Yeah, that will happen.
Nicole and
exact. Yeah, I'm gonna get a DM from Eliza after this. It is what it is.
Hey, that's the cost of doing business. Okay. All right.
God, let's do it.
All right. So, this is. We've got a great question. First of all, Corey, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Zach and I are having a great podcast.
I can tell. We're at hour 34.
No,
Corey,
we're only like 90 minutes in. Yeah.
Corey, where's America? Can she come in and say hi?
Not quite. She didn't watch the premiere.
Oh, okay.
So, you know,
Okay,
He's not
just
sexy.
I don't
don't
want her to
spoil
get
her.
spoiled.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right. So, we have these great questions that have come up, and that we're able to, we want it's Survivor 50 is in the hands of the fans. Okay, here, I'll go in the middle here.
Okay.
For in the hands of the fans, and so this first question that we're gonna let people. Let's start with the players' buffs. Choose the tribe colors that you would like to see for Survivor 50. Now, there's 3 options for this one. I don't know how we do this. I guess I have to debate one of the
you
3.
choose. And then
Okay.
I assume this will be fans vote after, like they'll decide the winner of each debate.
I guess the fans can decide what they want. Okay, so how do we do that, Zach? How do we do this with there's 3 different options? The first option A is blue, orange, and green. Option B is orange is back, this time with teal and purple. And option C is like a more of a neon green, red, and yellow.
Okay, how are we gonna divide this one up? Let's just have Sam. Sam, if you can choose.
Well, I guess maybe for that, then let's just do it in the order that we're in A, B, C.
Sure.
Okay. So Corey, you have to argue.
One,
let's like reverse the order though. Let's reverse the order though.
Okay, you want C?
I'm gonna take C.
Okay. All right, I'll be B.
Whatever.
Okay.
Perfect.
Do anything.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
how much time do I have?
How much time do we have? I think we do
12
a minute
minutes
each on the color.
60 seconds on the clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
Sam,
can.
can you keep the time on this? Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right, Zach, you're up first to talk about blue, orange, and green as the buffs.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're doing 3 tribes again. Blue, orange, and green holds a special place to my heart. I'm doing this a personal argument. These were the colors of Survivor 42. Now, let me ask you, why would we want to use the same colors, especially considering that the orange even looks red? I don't know. I really hate it. I really hate this one. I think that let's look at the colors below it. Okay. You got some purple in there. Blue and purple. Classic combination. Orange and yellow. I cede my time.
Okay. All right. I have to go in orange, teal, and purple. Okay. All right. These colors are hot. Okay. That teal is fluorescent. Okay. The 90s are back. Big, bright, bold colors for Survivor 50. You could imagine all of your faves wearing these beautiful colors. Everybody's going to look great. It's the choice of young people, but then there's also purple, a classic. I vote for option B.
Wow, you guys have really made some good arguments. It's going to be
Tell us, Corey,
tough
why
to
should people
face.
vote for green, red, and yellow?
We don't have ugly ass orange. Are you kidding me? It's gonna be the ugliest buff color I've ever seen. There's kind of 2 camps of Survivor fans. There's the we want old school Survivor back and shut up, you're annoying, new school is fine. Option B is like it reminds me a lot of Cambodia with that like ugly fuchsia and the weird like cyan. This is really what we want. We want this weird middle era with voting blocks. It's either time to take a step forward or make that homage to season 1. That yellow, is that Toggy yellow? I feel like it's a nice all-encompassing picture of what Survivor 50 is supposed to represent. I yield my time.
Yeah,
right.
so Corey like basically cheated by deciding that he wanted C, which was the best one, in my opinion. Can I make my argument for C as a genuine pitch?
Okay, yes.
And the reason why I like C the best, and I think A is terrible, honestly.
No ugly ass orange. Is that
this
what it
is
is?
actually my one, because Corey cheated, is these are the original All-Star colors. And I think that's very cool for a throwback for the 50th season.
I would argue that the green was the Mogo green was a little darker.
This is where I think that we should really just be able, they should just give us a color wheel and let us like put our mouse on what shape.
That makes me want to vote against option C also, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, vote against Shapiro.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Did you see, Zach, that they mentioned Survivor the Amazon in a flashback?
I did.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was Mitch talking about kind of like seeing himself on the show.
Yes.
That was very nice.
Yes.
Is Mitch
Okay.
deaf himself?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I think he just has a speech impediment. I don't believe that it is anything to do with his hearing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. All right. Next up. All right. Now that was the warm up. Rice or no rice. Okay. Here's the question that we have. Okay. And so this is the framework. Camp life! Exclamation point. Do you want to make it a bit easier on the tribes and let them start with a supply of rice? Or do you want them to earn their rice through effort or sacrifice? Option A is give them rice. Option B is make them earn rice. Okay. Do we have a coin to flip? How will we decide this? I'll just let Sam Moore decide. Sam.
Yeah.
I'm good with either.
Okay. Sam.
So I'm give them rice. Corey is.
Okay. So Zach is going to be representing give them rice. And we'll give you 2 minutes on this one. You don't have to use all your
Corey,
time.
I went first last time, so would it be okay if Corey went first?
Yes,
this time?
You went first and last time. To be clear.
Well, yeah, but you're going
I'll go
first.
first. Sure.
Okay. All right. Corey's going to represent make them earn rice.
26 days. You can't do 26 days without rice. Zach might not be able to answer objectively. He did 3 days without rice. He does not exactly have a basis for comparison. I was a have-not for 3 weeks. It was challenging. Granted, in Big Brother, eating is not a massive part of the experience. In Survivor, if we're doing a 26-day resort stay, you go to the sanctuary every other episode, and you get rice off the start. What are we even doing? I would petition to just do a spring season of Big Brother and throw them in. That's basically what we're watching. I don't want that. I'm a Survivor fan. Make them earn it. Let's do it.
Okay. Zach, why should the survivors get rice?
I got 2 arguments here. I've got an argument for the people who like the survivors and an argument for the people who don't. Okay. Number 1 argument, give them the rice for the people who like the survivors. This is not a 26-day game. Okay. I have heard from people who are going through this whole thing. They are so miserable. It is the worst experience ever to be in Survivor casting, okay? They are literally every single night losing sleep. The game has already started for them, okay? They are so messed up, okay? Let them have freaking rice when they're there. And then they're going to go on the show and they're going to ruin their legacy. And then everyone's going to hate them after they love them. It's going to be a horrible experience for 90% of them. Why not make it a little bit better for these people? Give them rice. For the people who hate the survivors, which I'm specifically talking about the old schoolers who say that it's so easy, this is another thing that you're going to have over them. Right now, we can say that we didn't get rice, okay? And that is a big notch on our belt.
Okay, that's time. Okay. Corey, do you have a rebuttal?
My main argument that I think Zach forgot to make was if we don't give them rice, we're going to have to watch a segment about them earning the rice. And I don't want to watch that.
That's a pretty
I don't want to watch a negotiation.
Right.
Angelina, maybe.
All right. Okay. All right. Next up, we have a vote on final 4 fire making. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like these. I love how they worded these questions. Okay. It says, okay, let's get into some gameplay. The final 4 fire making showdown has delivered some of the most dramatic moments in Survivor history, but not every fan is on board. Where do you stand? Okay. We have first, keep it. It gives players control of their destiny. Or lose it. Let them vote someone out just like the early seasons. Okay. Who is going to be taking which position?
Zach, you could pick. I'm happy with either.
Okay, I'll make and then will I'll go first.
Do you want Sam to flip a coin, or you guys got this?
I want Sam to flip a coin. I don't want.
Okay, Sam, flip the. Okay, Sam's gonna flip a coin.
Okay,
just flip it in the chat. Okay.
Well, like heads or tails. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Tails never fails.
All right.
Where's your tail?
All right. It is heads.
Okay.
All right, Zach, what do you want?
All right, then I'm gonna do get rid of fire making.
All right. All right. So
seems like a layup.
okay. Corey, you gonna start?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, keep it.
Oh my God, we all hate fire making. And yet the new era has produced a great crop of winners. Does anybody see this cognitive dissonance? Why do you think it is that since fire making has been put into place, we've maybe had one super dissatisfying winner of 9 seasons? The whole premise is, okay, you don't get them out at Final Four, now you get them out at Final 5. Outside of Omer, has that actually happened? The goal of fire making was to do 2 things: make them more deserving players, get to Final Tribal more reliably, and 2, to make closer votes in that Final 3. And it's done both things. Just because we had an opinion when the twist was introduced, and it was introduced in a very unfair manner, doesn't mean we can't change our opinions based on the abundance of new information we've received. The twist worked. I don't love it, but it worked, and I'm willing to admit it.
Okay, Zach.
Yeah, I think the argument against fire making is actually really clear. It's just pushed these targets getting pushed earlier. It's also making it so that like social gameplay is a lot less valuable. Robbed us of Carson winning. Carson would be a Survivor winner if there wasn't fire making. I just want to throw that for the casuals. I just want to say, Carson 100% wins that season if there's no fire making. That's something. And it's produced some great moments, I will admit. But you know what's great about having a vote is you still sometimes get the fire making. And it actually is a special thing when that happens. And it's going to be really fun to watch these people play not knowing if there's fire making. And then especially when there's not.
Yeah. As we're talking it through, that not to put my finger on the scale, but really the Final Four fire making really hasn't mattered. Like it did like for Gabler and Chris Underwood, but all the other people like didn't even get involved with the Final Four fire making, all the other winners in the new era.
Who goes home in 46 without fire making? Because I kind of think it's Kenzie.
Who goes home in 46? If it's it's Liz, Ben
wins immunity, Ben, Charlie, Liz, Kenzie. I think Kenzie goes.
Probably.
It might be a 2-2 tie, and it might have to end up being fire making there. That's why I kind of feel like lose it, and then half the time you get it anyway when they have a 2-2 vote.
Right, like that's where
that's my evolved feeling on it.
I will say, if I'm going to give fire making any credit, Winners at War fire making is genuinely one of the most dramatic moments in Survivor history.
Yes. I forgot that one. Tony made the fire and won.
So I just don't know if I believe the bigger threats are pushed earlier. And obviously Survivor is masterful in the way they edit a lot of deserving winners. So like it always feels like we have enough threats towards the end. But like, sure, you might lose a Genevieve, but you still have Sam and Rachel. How big of a threat was Sam? Actually, no one really knows. So it's like, I think that premise was always what I believed. My biggest problem with fire making by far is just you can idle at 5, fire making at 4. Like there has to be one round, I think, where you have to get through Honest Survivor. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And then one more question. Vote reveal in Los Angeles or Fiji. Okay. Looking ahead, ... Should we bring back the live finale and reunion show in Los Angeles or keep the winner reveal and after show in the jungles of Fiji?
Corey, if
live
you're
in Los Angeles or keep it in Fiji?
Corey, you took the harder one last time. I'm willing to keep it in Fiji if you're willing to take LA.
We might have 2 keep it in Fijis then.
Oh,
are you kidding me?
Okay, well then we might have to flip the coin to see who has to take
we're
live in Los Angeles.
All right, let's flip the coin. We got to keep it fair.
Okay, all right. Zach, heads or tails?
I'll stick with heads.
Okay, Sam is in the chat. That looks like tails to me. Okay, Corey. So you're gonna get to keep it in Fiji.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So Zach, you're gonna go first. Live in Los Angeles.
That says live in Los Angeles, but let me tell you what it says to me. I live in Los Angeles. So if the finale is here, then I get to go to that. That will be so fun. Oh. It was a real bummer for the past 8 seasons that they didn't do this. It really felt like a piece of the Survivor experience was missing. But that being said, like we missed a lot. I didn't get an intro sequence, you know? I didn't get my torch. I didn't get the 90-minute episodes, okay? Us early new era people, we missed out on a lot, and I've moved on from that. The live in Los Angeles, it deserves it. It's there. We've had it for so long. It's great. It'll cost CBS a decent amount of money, and I think that that's kind of fun. I think that we should be charging up these people, especially if they're not giving us 39 days. So I say let's let it rip. And then one more thing, I want to be able to see. I loved getting to see people after they've like come back home and they've like gained a little hair on their, you know.
I will say, Zach, how many Survivor alumni are you willing to have sleep on your couch, on your floor? How many alumni are crashing at your place?
I think it's anywhere between 3 to 6.
3 to 6. Okay.
Yeah, make it work, depending on the alumni.
All right. Yep. 1st to 4 is going to have the say there. Okay. All right, Corey, keep it in PG.
I'll have say with me.
Yeah. Well, let's just get this straight, Zach. You want a 26-day season where they get fed every day, and then all the pre-jurors get paid handsomely for their getting voted out early, showing up to the reunion. Like at a certain point, again, we're not doing Survivor anymore. And most importantly, my seminal point, if you've ever been to these influencer get-togethers, the reunion, there's going to be a lot of Survivor, Big Brother alum in the building. It does more harm than good. You don't want to let that out there. These LA gatherings, I can't explain to you how damaging it will be to the Survivor and Big Brother ecosystem, but if you've been to one of these events, you know that damage will be there, especially if it's run by CBS. So this is my argument, very simply put. We don't want to open that Pandora's box. Sorry for the Big Brother reference. Yeah. And I rest my case.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I rebut that?
Yes.
I think the words "and Big Brother" were doing a lot of heavy lifting through that entire conversation. I've been to plenty of Survivor things. We are not you. Okay.
Jared's going to be there. Blue's going to be there. Jared's going to be there.
Blue?
Jared Fields.
Oh, okay.
All of them. Everyone in LA. Bowie's going to be DJing.
The Big Brother. I will not let Survivor be limited by Big Brother.
It's going to be a tough ticket. Yeah.
Unless Suri's not going then.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, that's good.
You don't deserve us. If you can't handle us at our Jared, you don't get us at our Suri's.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. There you go. That's the Survivor in the hands of the fans debate.
So that's Survivor ITHOTF. That's what we're going with.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Corey, thank you for popping in to help us debate what's on the minds of the fans.
Thank you all, and to all the voters. Vote with your heart.
Yes. Corey, anything you want to tell people to check out?
I stream. Just look up my name on Twitch and.
What's the figure? Is that Locke?
It's there's an astronaut and a dog, and then there's John Locke. Yeah.
John Locke. Okay. All right.
My guy.
Yeah. All right.
We need to go back.
Yeah, we have to go back.
Exactly.
To Los Angeles.
Anyways, appreciate you guys. Have a fun podcast.
Okay. All right. There you go.
All right.
All right. All right. That was fun.
Yeah.
Wurtenberger family reunion debate.
That's the most I've
Is that like what Thanksgiving is like?
A little bit. Honestly, before we both did our shows, that is literally like how we would talk to each other, is we would just get into these like hour-long arguments about like, is JT a good player, or who's gonna win Winners at War. Like we really would go at each other with that stuff.
Okay.
And look at us now.
Right. Look at you now. Okay. And we're doing it for the world, for the Survivor Nation. Okay. Justin Feinberg wants to, did Stephanie pass on her knowledge of Reiki to Zach?
Stephanie Berger or Stephanie Wurtenberger?
I think Stephanie Berger. Do you know anything about energy healing?
No, I don't know anything about energy healing. I remember Reiki was the thing that Tanya in White Lotus was like, no Reiki. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's literally my only context for it. So I don't think I'd like it.
Okay. All right. How about a question? Jordan Kalish asked, is there a burger curse on Survivor why are these burgers and Wurtenbergers being taken off the grill so prematurely? And is that also, are they too rare?
So yeah, right. Can you run through the burgers for me real quick? Like it's me and Stephanie, obviously. Are there others?
Are there other burgers from Survivor? I'd have to do a search.
Burger.
Hmm.
A lot of Stephanie burger right now.
Yeah.
I got this. I can do this real quick. Watch this. Just go to the wiki and I search burger.
Yeah. This is some good Kappenberg.
Kappen. Yeah, we don't count. We definitely don't count her. I got it. There's Aaron Reisberger.
Oh. Yeah.
And then there's Ian Rosenberger.
Yes. Okay. Ian Rosenberger. This is from Rob's Fact Checker. Aaron Reisberger. Should they give them Reisberger or not? Zach Wurtenberger. Stephanie Berger.
Oh, you know what? They should do the like the have not America's vote. Like it shouldn't be like should they have rice? It's like should they get gummy worms and mayonnaise?
Yeah, give them like wacky foods for Survivor 50.
Yeah. I don't think there's a curse because how do you explain Ian? You know? Like you can't have a third placer and claim it's a curse. And you can't say that 4 people not winning is a curse.
I don't think so.
So I believe the next burger will do it.
Okay. All right. How about Bobby Hall asks, unless your tribe is obviously the physically strongest, should you ever volunteer to do the puzzle in the first immunity challenge?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question.
Because you did the puzzle in the first immunity challenge.
I did the puzzle in the first immunity challenge.
Would you not recommend? Is that a move like that? Would you say if you had to do it again, like,
No, I would want to do the puzzle again. I think back on what you said actually about your All-Stars experience, right?
Yeah.
Where you like were sitting there watching them lose the puzzle, thinking to yourself, like, God, I could have done that. And I feel like if I had sat out of the puzzle, that's what I would do in my life thinking. I think at the end of the day,
I don't know if I said, God, I could have done that, but I felt like, oh boy, we got Sue Hawk and Big Tom working on this puzzle.
Right.
Like, did we put our best puzzle team out there? Did we balance it out?
Yeah, I think that in retrospect of my tribe losing every puzzle.
A concussed Bill and Big Tom also.
I think I would do the puzzle still. I would just change how I acted after. Because the truth is we came into that puzzle in last place and then we left it in last place. Like it was not the puzzle that we lost on. The taking the blame for it, I should have just gone in there and been like, yeah, no, we did great on that puzzle. And fully like hyped myself up instead of beating myself up. And I think Stephanie should have done the same.
Okay. Ben asks, Stephanie mentioned that she did make social connections with Cedric and Justin. So what's the key into turning those into strategic bonds in the first couple of days?
It's not the problem of making them between Cedric and Justin. It's the problem with not making it with Say. When you identify the person who is the leader, that's the person that you most need to be careful of. It would have been perfectly fine if she was like all right with Justin, all right with Cedric, and like all right with Say, as long as no one was pointing to her as like the one person. Because at the end of the day, it became a binary choice for Justin and Cedric, who liked Say and liked Stephanie and were either way voting out someone they liked.
I'm trying to go back to my notes from the preseason, and Say really did not care for Stephanie in the preseason.
Really?
She did not like her. She called her she doesn't like the art lady. She was doing art. Say did not care for her.
Didn't Say also say she wanted to work with the guys too?
I
remember her saying I get along better with guys.
Yeah, the mohawk, curly black hair with somebody she liked. I don't know if that maybe could that have been Shauhin?
See, that's the thing is that I think that Stephanie was always going to have a hard road with Say, and I think that like, and I don't blame Stephanie. I don't think that she like played bad at all this round. I think that what Stephanie needed to do three outs for Stephanie, right? Number one is get Say on your side to the point where Say is not looking at you as the first target. Okay.
Right.
That's number one. Number two is go full hog against Say and like turn everyone on her. try to make the big move, try to get everyone to flip, like, and that's kind of what she did. She didn't go full force with it, but she that's what she ended up choosing. Option 3, try to throw Mary under the bus. That's like the Tory move. Be like, all right, well, I'm throwing my ally out as long as it's not me, whatever. It's probably the move that had the best chance of working at the end game, but I don't like the move still because it like cedes so much agency in the game, and like you're basically leaving yourself on an island. And then if you get voted out, you're going to sit there kicking yourself, being like, God, I should have tried to make the big move. So regardless, I think the best move from the start was really like put all in and try to make Say like you.
And maybe, more so than Mary, at the very least.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's like you don't have to
you don't have to like try to get Mary out, but it's like, oh my God, Say, you know what? It took me a second. I totally get you now. Mary still says like she doesn't see it, but I get it.
It's yeah, you don't have to outrun the bear. You just have to outrun your friends. Like,
right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and you don't have to like. I'm not targeting Mary. I'm just like trying to get Say. Like, I just need to be Say's favorite. I just need to be the person that Say likes on this tribe the fifth most.
The thing I don't like about that strategy, which would have saved her, so it's obviously better. It's obviously baseline better than what ended up happening. The issue is it really gives up your power for the next time. And if they were to go to another tribal, which, as you said, you think that they're going to be like the loser tribe, you think they're going to be going to a lot, puts you in a lot of danger come the next. I'm thinking of Swathi, right? Who basically did that to me. Swathi's the next boot. I'm thinking of who else? I'm thinking of Keyshawn, right? Keyshawn saw Rome as this all-powerful dude, ceded all tribe power to Rome and let Rome just cut him at the next vote. Like that's what I don't like about that plan. It saves you a day, but then kind of puts you at the mercy of someone else, especially day one. Even though it didn't work for John Lovett, I'd like to love it going for Annika there,
Yeah. I think the problem with Say that's different than Rome, where Rome like had a number one in Genevieve. It seemed like that there was a move like Teeny and Kashan. And I think that what we've come to find is that Genevieve is actually pretty close with Kashan also, that we got to see that clip a million times of Genevieve, how could you? But like, at least there was like another soft target that they could have gone for if they didn't put the votes on Rome in that spot. I don't know who the soft target is. If you think that Say might play her idol, then who do you put the votes on? Cedric? They love Cedric.
Yeah. Whose perspective are we talking from? We're talking from Justin and Kevin.
If they want to say, okay, well, let's not let Say dictate what this tribe is going to be about, but she might play her idol. What are we doing here? Now, ultimately, she doesn't play her idol.
You really have to sell it there as, look, we know regardless that Say is voting for me. And if I'm the collateral on this move, then congrats. I'm out anyways, and now she doesn't have an idol, which is going to be an even bigger problem for you next round. So, like, yes, it's a scary shot to take, but I'm the one who's taking the bullet, and you need to handle this problem sooner than later.
Okay. Zach, anything else on your mind about Survivor 48?
I had I was looking through my notes. There was one thing, which it was the pizza shirt.
Yes. Justin's
the
pizza shirt.
Why does his shirt just say pizza?
Well, I don't know if they were going to let him wear maybe the Luigi's Pizza logo.
So you think that they I feel like they should. I mean, it's his his
restaurant. This is national exposure for it. Yeah. I don't know.
Can I be honest?
What?
Kind of gave porn star.
The pizza shirt gave porn star. How?
Just ambiguous, hey, the pizza's here.
Okay. So in the movies, that they have a person.
You know better than me. I mean, this is old school. This is new era movies.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, when you put it that way.
You see what I mean? We need to get the plot out quick. Like,
Yeah.
this is the pizza guy.
I feel like it's more like giving like he's in a school play and he's like a food group. Like he's just like he's like labeled pizza. In
Or
the
it's
play.
like or it's like a New Yorker like political cartoon. That we really need to like. It's like talking Michelle Obama era like food restrictions, and he's the like embodiment
Vegetable.
of pizza.
Yeah. Yeah. He is in the clubhouse, the number one person answering the questions with his job title of like, it's just like in the restaurant.
See, I was
that
gonna
could be the
say,
drinking game this season.
See, what's funny is I think the sleeper for that is going to be Cedric. And I'm curious, do we have a new Dr. Mike on our hands?
Yeah. Well, I feel like Dr. Mike, I feel like did not necessarily have like too many, like I feel like he did not do a lot of urology
on the show.
This is like, yeah. And maybe the standards and practices were like, actually, you can't do any of that.
I really liked, I heard in some preseason thing that Cedric was like, part of my job is to make people trust me to like,
Yeah, they have to show me like very sensitive areas.
Yeah. And I was like, I think that's a really different thing going on, because like no one's just doing that, Like there's usually a pretty serious reason, right? Like you're at the doctor's.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to work.
He's a specialist. Yeah. So not the specialist. But
I just rewatched Out of Nowhere for some reason, the Brandon Hance removal. And
yes, no reason.
Yeah, literally. Oh, maybe a little reason.
Yeah. Okay.
That should be one of the votes. Should Brandon Hance go to prison?
Yeah. I think we should, you know what? Again, let's save that for in the Hance of the fans. We'll have all the Hance family polls. We'll leave that for them. I think we should like let the legal system do its job.
Okay, yeah. I support that as well.
That's in the hands of the justice system.
He's in the hands of the justice system.
Sister. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Zach, I think we're off to a great start this season.
Mm-hmm. You think T-Bird's gonna? What is T-Bird gonna?
In the old era interview? Yeah. So this is what my vision is. I feel like that. Okay, so the new era people, you all are on it. Like you're gonna break down the episode. We're gonna have a chance to chat. We can, go and talk about some tangents. I feel like that we were largely tangent free. Is that fair?
I think so. Well, I think we went on a lot of
a little bit. Did you have a tangent? Did you have like a tight five or anything you wanted to do?
No, we went on a lot of journeys, is what I'll say. But I think we made it through every single tribe. We hit the main points. I don't think there was a part of this 2-hour episode that we didn't hit in the past 2 hours.
But with the old era people, like I'm just like the victory is just getting them on the phone. Some of them it's like, hey, let's talk to this person. Maybe they have takes. Maybe they're like, they don't know anybody's name. I'm sort of trying to piece it together. That's just like sort of like the episode is just like a jumping off point to just say hi.
Okay. So it's a little bit of talking with T-Bird style.
A little bit talking with T-Bird style, but it's sort of like with the backs, against the setting of like, hey, did you watch Survivor this week?
I guess that makes a lot of sense. I guess just the crisis I have with it is still, and we already talked about this, but still wrapping my head around someone like Gabby Piscuzzi being an old school player, or like
what I told Sam was like, get me on the phone with any survivor. I could do 45 minutes standing on my head. And I would love it of just like, hey, let's just check in with this person. How's everything going? Good? Are you watching the show? And they're not gonna like who's the girl with the thing?
Yeah, should you make it a wheel?
Is that Eva?
Okay. I see the vision. I'm gonna be listening.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the heavy lifting for you all, the new era people, on Thursday. But then maybe I'll talk to them on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I meet the people where they are.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell me what's good for you.
I mean, it's feedback show vibes is the sense I get.
Yeah. Not even feedback, because I don't even know if we're gonna do. Maybe I'll ask some people some questions from the listeners, but it's more just like check in. What are they up to?
I mean the feedback in the sense of like it's the goofier one. Like you got like
that's we still have Club Condo.
That's the goofy one.
Mm-hmm. That's we'll get into so hard. The social media and everything else like that's like and luckily we have some good social media to talk about with Chappelle on Monday.
Yes, very good social media.
We put Brandon Donlin on. Get any Survivor link that's going on this week. Any interesting things? He's gonna flag it. We'll talk about that on Club Condo.
I gotta say, you're really picking up the slack of the rest of your season with the social media. I want the fight.
Stan.
I want Say's Twitter to be deleted by episode 3. I want it to be back by episode 4.
Let us eat. Let us live.
I want there to be an episode where you're like sick to my stomach thinking about next episode, and like you have an amazing episode. I want the full Venus experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully she'll deliver on that. So we'll see. All right, let me tell you about what else is going on for you, for Zach, and also for the listeners. I'll tell them also. Okay, it would be rude if I only told Zach what was going on. But of course, we know Survivor.com. Of course, we're just getting started this week. We've got all of the shows. Why Stephanie lost, in case you still had questions about that. The B&B, Survivor Global, the Purple Pants, Survivor News, everything Survivor is all in one place. We know Survivor.com. Then you can be chatting along with us. Are you in the group chat, Zach?
I am not in the group chat.
Oh, we got to get you in. Head on over to the VIP Survivor group chat where we're chatting along with all the survivors about everything that's going on. We were chatting live during the episode. Check it out. It's called Chat BCC. They asked Steven and I, hey, can you get a bunch of survivors talking about the episode? We said, bet. You can check that out. Go to robinswebsite.com/VIP chat to join in the fun there. It's completely free, and you can see what all the survivors, I think like 20 plus survivors are there just chatting and talking about what's going on.
Very cool.
Okay. The Traitors. On Thursday night, we had our 10th episode of The Traitors. I won't ask you any spoilers. Are you caught up?
Oh, I'm very caught up. Yeah.
Very caught up. Okay. Yeah. Was that on your list of shows? Oh, wait. I mean, maybe I'll get your all your shows. Get your takes on other shows.
Oh, real quick, rapid fire. Traitors, I think I don't actually care anymore. I think that there's a fundamental game flaw in it where faithfuls at the end always are not really the ones that I'm interested in anymore. And especially since Carolyn was my main rooting interest for the season. Yeah. And I mean, look, if Danielle can pull it off, props to her. I just don't see a single world where that happens. Mm-hmm. So I kind of feel like the winner is going to be a little bit of a snoozer at this point.
Well, check it out. WeKnowTraitors.com. And then we'll be live in Boston. Rob has a website.com/Boston. Sam is saying that there's only 5 tickets left at the time of recording. So if you're one of the lucky 5, top 5, baby, congratulations. I'll see you in Boston. If not, better luck next year. The White Lotus, one of Zach's shows, comes out on Sundays. Josh Wigler and I are recapping it all at WeKnowScriptedTV.com. And on Friday, I'll be taking questions from the patrons. We'll do our Survivor Q&A live Friday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern. So many members of the Wurtenberger family are part of our patron community. Survivor is better when you have a tribe. So join us and check out everything we have going on. If you're watching 2 hours and 13 minutes of another Survivor podcast, you are exactly who we're looking for. So come on over. You could try out being a patron for free for 7 days at robinswebsite.com/patron. Where
are there
also
any
hear
on the season, just out of curiosity?
No, not that I know of. Not to my knowledge.
It's the first time.
47 was big, but 48, the pendulum swings back.
Mm-hmm.
There's an alliance of people who aren't patrons who are called the patrons.
Oh. Should we have to make them pay to vote? Should we make it like patrons get to?
Yeah, patrons will vote for free. Also, you can check out Josh Wigler and I recapping Survivor Heroes versus Villains 15 years after the fact. You can check out our episode 3 recap of Survivor Heroes versus Villains over on Patreon as well. robswebsite.com/patron.
Can I ask you something about that?
Yes.
Can I ask you something? If
anything.
Just this is the fan in me talking, right? Because I see that you and Josh, like you guys recapped Heroes Villains. You already recapped San Juan del Sur. You're doing all these recaps.
Yeah.
Is there a reason that like you're not turning these recaps and the time spent on these recaps into another evolution of strategy now that we're so far gone from 31 through 40?
Yes. So you want us to go back to 30 to do 31?
I think that like the time, especially now that 50 is like about to be here. I remember you guys started the evolution of strategy on 28. Like I feel like if there was ever a time to, bring that back, I feel like it'd be now.
Yeah, potentially. That's something that we could have in mind. It's a big undertaking to do.
Yes.
Also, Josh doesn't really love all the seasons in the 30s. And we're going to hit a point of the stuff he really doesn't like. So it's hard to start that journey.
You could do a 9-chapter book.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. We might think about it. We might think about some way to do it.
Yeah. That's my pitch.
Yeah. What else? What else is new for you?
Nothing. I mean, that's what I got going on. It's been a lot of fun. I'm excited Survivor's back. I think this is going to be a really fun.
What are you doing when you're not working or watching television?
I mean, playing a lot of Blood on the Clocktower. That's been a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boy, that group chat is blows up.
Oh, I'm so into it. I mean, it's like, literally, I'll play a game, and then after the game, I'm debriefing in like 6 separate side conversations where I'm like, I get a text from it killed me. I got a text from Fishback like 24 hours after a game, and he was like, it just said like, I think Owen made the wrong call.
Yeah. You know what? It's so because so many of my Survivor friends are way into it. They're in the weeds, and I wish I loved it as much as you all did.
It took me a minute to.
I wish it spoke to me like it does to you guys.
Yeah, exactly. You would be a good storyteller.
Oh, maybe I could see that more.
And I think that would be fun for you as like an analyst, especially like within this world.
Yeah.
You would actually get a lot from that role.
That's my role when we do the taped ones.
Yes.
I do remember I enjoy that. But as far as playing, it's like, I don't know if it's for me.
I get it. I mean, look, not for everyone.
I think my problem is on these games, like a lot of times I'm telling the truth and people don't believe me. And I get like indignant and like, hey, I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. I think that people think it's funny to kill me then.
Right.
I have to but my problem is, and this I'd be bad on the traders too. Like I think it's too entertaining when I'm being wrongfully accused of things. People like that, and then they vote me out.
So that's where my strategy is in Blood on the Clocktower. If we could talk about this for 30 seconds. My strategy in Blood on the Clocktower is always, when I'm good, do everything that I humanly can to prove that I'm good. Literally everything. Like if you want to kill me first, if I want to sacrifice myself, like whatever, become good, start collecting all the information, and then just try to solve it.
Yeah.
So, so stop trying to.
Yeah. The last time I played, I had I got in one-on-ones with people. It's like, hey, I got to tell you, I'm good. I'm not supposed to tell people I have an important role. I'm the Raven Keeper. I'm going to tell you, I trust you. And then it's I nominate Rob. Like, I don't believe him. Like, I had him one-on-one with you. I told you what my role was. Like,
who was that?
Didn't believe it. Didn't believe it. Multiple people.
Who was the person who nominated you? Who was?
I don't want to say. I don't want to say.
Okay, can you say?
I'll tell you after.
Okay. Was it Omer?
It was not Omer. No.
Okay. I was gonna say that's your mistake.
And then I get pissed. I'm like, I'm telling the truth.
I will say that.
No, that's lie. It's a lie.
one of my biggest Survivor traumas actually was after playing. I could no longer play social strategy games for like over a year. Like it really messed with my head to like exactly.
So that's why you
what
love
you're
it so
saying.
much, because you're back.
Now, right. The wounds have healed. Like now I can get into it. And I love this one specifically because like if you die and you're good, it's like whatever, you still get to play. Versus like a Mafia where it's like you're just done.
Yep. All right.
Yeah. How will you be able to join the Mafia?
Ask your brother. Yeah. All right. So happy that you came by, Zach. One of my favorites. I would love to hear in the comments. Did people like having the Thursday recap back?
Yeah.
I loved it.
They did. Vote.
Yeah. I don't love that it's late at night, but other than that, I loved everything else.
I think format wise, this really, really works. And I'm glad that you guys are, doing it. I miss Steven.
Oh, you know what else we should do? We should give out a hashtag at the end of this.
Oh, that's a classic.
What's the hashtag? What did we talk about?
Yeah, let's look through real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The hashtag.
What was the men's alliance? Roxroy's girls? Yeah, that's good.
Roxroy's girls.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, why not? Let's do Roxroy's girls. Either that or what you say.
What? Who say?
Say.
What'd you say?
What you say?
What'd you say?
One of the stars of the season,
mm-hmm.
Rob. Most confessionals of all time.
Yes.
Let's do Roxroy's girls. Get a negative
girls.
reaction to.
Okay. I don't know how to spell that.
And then what you say?
Yeah.
But say spelled like say.
Like a reference to the song that's from the SNL sketch.
Yeah, to finally bring a Succession in there. It's a little bit of like the "we here for you."
We here for you. Okay. All right. Hashtag Roxroy's girls. If you made it to the end of this, we appreciate you. We here for you. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.